Has there been any standout thing that you've noticed for 2025, or if you want to lump in 2024, just like trends or changes or things that you've noticed in the world of hiking?
People really seem to appreciate, and I definitely appreciate, the time outside without distractions, like of just being present with other people.
Yeah.
I think in the wake of COVID and with the increased use of social media, like it's kind of rare to just have old-timey conversations with people without scrolling getting in the way.
Yeah, it's one of the things that people comment on the most after our trips as well. It's like actually connecting with the other people around them.
Yeah.
In an undistracted way.
Welcome to Backpacker Radio, presented by The Trek, brought to you by Topo Athletic. I am your co-host, Zach Badger Davis. Sitting to my right is...
Hi, I'm Juliana Chauncey, a.k.a. Chaunce.
Did you notice that after I hit record, I sit there and look at it for a few seconds before I actually start talking?
Yeah, is that to make sure that it's recording?
Yeah. You fuck it up enough times, you have to be very sure. We're episode 341 here, and I think that's happened twice now. So percentage-wise, it's still pretty good, but it's not fun when you tell a guest an hour into a conversation, be like, oh, by the way, none of that was recorded.
Yeah. It is helpful that now we have the video backup, but I am the same way with the video, where if anyone religiously watches the YouTubes, they'll notice moments where I just like make direct eye contact with the camera for a second and maybe squint, and I'm looking for that red button.
We're going to have to get someone to timestamp all the Chaunce squints.
Yeah. Because there's been times that it stopped recording because the batteries ran out, or I haven't noticed it wasn't plugged into the charger, or the SD card was full, and that's not fun.
Yeah.
What was that episode where we had to put a picture of a cat for like half the episode?
Yeah. It happened.
Exactly. So we've all been there.
We've all been there. A few reminders before we get to today's awesome chat. If you're taking on a long distance trek in 2026 and you want to share your story with a large and thriving audience, we'd love for you to apply to either be a blogger, if you're the writing type, or a vlogger, if you're more of the video type. A few of the perks is you get access to the Trek's community of thru hikers. We're going to fly one person out to join us here on Backpacker Radio. Recently had Stitches on. That was a ton of fun. And you get to be Jess Stone's best friend. Everyone loves Jess, and you get to go sleep in her bed.
What?
I don't know.
She's going to quit one of these days. And you're going to act surprised.
Yeah. Maybe also file a complaint with HR, but here we are.
That's not going to do anything.
We'd love for you to join the team. Links to apply to either of those are available through the show notes. And I think this is basically a last call for applications for the 5th season of Trail Correspondence. This is the Trek's second most popular podcast, and this is a chance to share your journey in audio format. Gives listeners an intimate view into the life of a thru hiker, and like I said, has a very engaged audience. People love this podcast. We're looking for like 12 to 15 people hiking northbound on either the AT, PCT, or CDT. So if this sounds of interest, link to apply is in the show notes. It's been a minute since we've plugged Backpacker Radio's YouTube, aside from the fact that Chaunce stares at the camera from time to time.
Yeah, I feel like I just did, but yeah, we have a YouTube.
Yeah. And if you're watching us on YouTube, click the subscribe button. It costs nothing.
Yeah, it's not going to change your algorithm that much, except for giving you more of what you like. If you like backpacking enough that you are watching us on YouTube talking to other people, you probably like it enough where you would not be bummed if your algorithm skewed you into more backpacking related stuff. What's an easy way to do that besides just secretly whispering to your phone, show me more backpacking stuff? Hitting the follow button, subscribe, whatever buttons are available for you. That'll do it. And it'll also help us. So help us, help you, help us. Hit subscribe.
Well said.
Thank you.
Last but not least, if you enjoy this podcast and you want to support us, you can do so. Patreon.com/backpackerradio for as little as $5 per month, which in this economy is nothing.
Yeah.
We talked about some of the things that cost more than $5.
Yes.
And it's not as good as this.
No. And also, like, you see me and Zach on the camera every time if you're watching on YouTube, or you just hear our voices. But there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. We've got Elise doing a bunch of stuff. We've got Rachel, who does everything that she can and more. Jess does stuff sometimes. We've got Sarah, who does the video. We've got Polly, who does the audio. There's a lot that goes into actually putting these out. And we like to pay people that work for us well. We think that they do really valuable work, and we don't want them going anywhere but here. And for us to be able to do that and put on a really good show and pay people that do work for the podcast a wage that makes sense in today's economy.
Wait, have you been paying them?
Yeah. I have been taking money out of your wallet every time you haven't been looking. Yep.
That's where that's been going.
Yeah, it's been unregulated
Oh,
payments.
shit.
But we like to do that. Like, no one wants to work for a company that looks cool but then actually pays their people like shit. So we like being able to have a good set of staff that is adequately compensated for their work, and a lot of that does come from your support. So if we're just doing like a less fluffy plug for Patreon today, it's that every dollar does help. It does help us put on a really great show for you and keep the lights on and keep introducing new ideas and having the means to execute on them. So thank you if you're already on there, or if you've ever been on there. I know times are hard. We do not ever get salty if someone can't maintain staying on there, but if you have the means to, it does really go a long way.
I actually send handwritten letters to everyone that leaves us as Patreon. So
That leaves us?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was just contradicting your statement about getting salty. I get very salty.
Oh, I thought you meant like you sent like a letter saying like, "Hey, thanks for the limited time you were on." You didn't fucking tell me. I would sign it.
How dare you abandon us? Written in blood, in sort of like a ransom format.
Yeah.
So don't ever leave us. Is what I'm trying to say.
I won't be salty. Zach apparently is like a crow.
Yeah.
He holds grudges. So.
It's all that element.
Good
Keeps me
old
extra salty.
Crow Zach.
Yeah. But also we should say, if you're a Patreon supporter, you get all of the episodes advertisement free. So
yes.
It's
not like you're not getting anything.
Yeah.
You get something.
You get something.
You get something. We get something. When you sweat, you lose a lot more than water. You're burning through sodium, potassium, magnesium, all the stuff your body needs to keep going strong on trail, thinking clearly, and sleeping well at night. That's why I'm a huge fan of Element. It's a zero-sugar electrolyte mix with a science-backed ratio that's heavy on sodium, which is exactly what thru-hikers and long-distance backpackers are losing all day long. No sugar, no junk, just what your body actually needs. When I'm backpacking, I'll usually drink one Element throughout the day and then have another packet before bed. It helps me rehydrate, keeps the leg cramps away, and I'll wake up feeling like $1,000,000. Another underrated benefit, Element makes those dodgy water sources actually taste good. If you've ever filtered from a silty creek, a cow tank, or some lukewarm pipe coming out of the ground, you know how clutch that is. It's not just an on-trail thing either. Element is my go-to hangover prevention tool. One packet before bed, another in the morning, and you wake up hitting the erase button on a night of bad decisions. My favorites are lemonade, raspberry, and citrus. A cold Element lemonade on a hot day tastes like absolute heaven. And the citrus works shockingly well as a no-calorie mix-in for a backcountry margarita, perfect while car camping, or the lazy version at home. Good news, Backpacker Radio listeners can score a free Element sample pack with any drink mix purchase by going to drinklmnt.com/thetrek. That sample pack includes citrus salt, raspberry salt, watermelon salt, and orange salt. 2 stick packs of each flavor, 8 total. No coupon code needed. Just use the URL. Again, that's drinklmnt.com/thetrek to get 8 free packets with any drink mix purchase. The deal is only available for a limited time.
Good. Okay, let's get to today's interview conversation. Basically an annual tradition at this point. We're that time of the year. We're joined by Andrew Skurka and Katie Gerber. Andrew Skurka, a.k.a. the Dirty Handman, is back. Rachel writes these and we laugh. Is back for his annual showdown with Zach and John.
Again, she deserves every penny we pay her.
It took me a second to. It's like,
Note I went for the hug, not the handshake.
Oh, damn it. I went for the handshake.
Yeah, you got dirty hands now,
hope
Zach.
That's not.
There's
I
more.
have to say that and your pubes on my
emerging
mic.
nickname.
You'd be forgiven for thinking Andrew Skurka is a renowned backpacker, guide, runner, author, and past National Geographic Adventurer of the Year, when in reality he's a full-time cat dad and just might post more pictures of his cats than of mountains. And Katie Gerber, now co-director for Andrew Skurka Adventures, is also a nutritionist, a holistic health coach, herbalist, and adventurer. Yours is far less roasty, so don't worry. She has completed the Triple Crown, Colorado Trail, and Oregon Desert Trail, in addition to many other high routes and off-trail endeavors like the Overland Route, Wind River High Route, a ridgeline traverse of the Sangre de Cristos, the Fifner Traverse, and an end-to-end hike of the north side of the Grand Canyon. Andrew and Katie, thank you so much for joining us here on Backpack Radio.
Thanks for having us.
I don't know if Andrew's feeling so loved at this point.
Is what it is. I mean, you can't put out content about cleaning your butt with your hand in an outdoor setting and not get some pushback on
Sure.
that. Yeah.
I think it's a prime example of people don't forget.
People never forget.
Said it once
But if they've done it, they'll be thanking me.
That's true.
with their dirty hands. You ever shake your dirty hand with someone else's dirty hand?
Haven't tried. I'll suggest that next time I meet somebody who knows.
It's fresh out of
Yeah.
the woods
Hey,
after a poo.
Hey, would you like to shake with our left hands today? Boy Scout shake?
Yeah.
right. So Katie has been on this podcast before, but it's been a hot minute. We looked it up. It was episode number 11. So I don't even, that had to have been 2018. So since it's been so long, let's just start with the full intro, because even if someone's heard it, it's been enough years now that I'm imagining that part didn't stick. But I guess just remind us how you got into hiking, backpacking.
Wow. Okay. I didn't start backpacking until 2009. After college, a friend of mine was through hiking the AT, and I didn't know what through hiking was. I didn't know what the AT was, and he just sent an email to a small group of us friends and asked if anyone would join him. And I joined him on the trail, and I was like, wow, you can just like live in the woods for weeks at a time. This is incredible. And I actually didn't through hike the AT. So correction to the intro.
Oh, shit.
Not a triple crowner.
Rachel's fired.
Yep.
Hiked 600 miles the AT, but the full PCT and full CDT. But yeah, I was out there long enough to find out that I loved it. And then, got, 2014 PCT, and then vowed to never go so many, at least more than a year without through hiking another trail after that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I remember the last time you were on, we talked a lot about nutrition, food,
Good.
all that good stuff.
Mhm.
Is that still as much of a passion and point of interest for you nowadays?
It's definitely still a passion. So I was fully self-employed before 2023 as a certified holistic health coach, doing nutrition coaching, had a book, which I co-wrote with Heather Anderson. But since 2023, when I came on as co-director, I'm still doing some coaching, but it's taken a back seat to the co-directing role, which is really full-time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And if memory serves, you would have described your diet as paleo. Is that accurate?
I would say it was paleo-ish, but it was more about anti-inflammatory,
Okay.
like keeping inflammation down to combat the inflammation that our bodies are generating on trail, and trying to focus mostly on whole foods and antioxidants.
Okay. Just quickly give us like a on-trail high points for maximizing an anti-inflammatory diet. Again, just on-trail specifically.
Yes. So, I would say eating like as whole food as possible. So nuts, trail mixes, minimize. You can get dehydrated vegetables, proteins, like really focusing on your protein intake. That's not directly anti-inflammatory, but is really good for recovery. And then I use a lot of greens powders to fill in like micronutrient gaps and things like that. Yeah, I would say the big thing is just try to eat as whole food as you can, which can be hard on trail, but eating like couscous or quinoa or rice, beans, things like that versus the more processed things. It can be tough, but trying to seek out those options that have a little more fiber and nutrition definitely helps. And then supplementing with actual supplements if you want to do that, or some type of like greens or veggies or things like that.
From a supplemental anti-inflammatory standpoint, are you doing anything like omega-3s or curcumin on trail?
Both of those.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Those are the big ones. Yeah.
In terms of getting in some greens, I love packing out something fresh for the first day, and I find that sometimes things can last multiple days. Are there any standout foods that last longer on trail in a pack?
Like fresh foods that
Fresh
you can
foods,
pick out.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll do greens. I'll also do carrots. I'll do avocado for the first day or maybe 2 days. Take 2 avocados. Those are the big ones. Sugar snap peas are pretty good.
What's your guiltiest pleasure on trail?
Oh gosh. Like actual hiking food on
Yeah.
trail? I eat a fair bit of chocolate, like dark chocolate. Yeah. But
Naughty.
I don't consider that a guilty. I don't feel guilt about it at
No.
all. No.
That's if that's the worst thing that you eat, that's very good, because that would be like maybe the healthiest thing I eat out of my food
Well,
bag.
I eat a fair amount of protein bars. Like I still eat, which I don't consider necessarily healthy because they're pretty processed, but I'm definitely trying to hit protein goals, and I think that's really hard on
Yeah,
trail.
totally.
Avocados are tough for me. I love taking them on trail, and I love eating them on trail, but the freaking seed, man.
Yeah.
It's not ultralight.
No.
You can't
the
just
shell
chuck it
and
into the
seed.
woods. You have to
No.
take it with you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Worth it, though.
avocado's great, though.
I don't know if we talked about this last time. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I have a note that you have a botanical medicine certificate.
I do. Yes. I don't remember what we talked about in 2018.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Fair.
Really? Strange.
Yeah. I do. Yeah. So it was I think it was a 6 to 8 month long remote program that I did that was specifically about women's and botanical medicine, herbal medicine. So using plant compounds essentially to address different ailments throughout the course of a woman's life, or just to help improve health overall.
We'll get off the food subject here shortly, I promise. But give me like 2 or 3 of your favorite herbal teas, because I'm a big herbal tea person.
Okay.
And I'm just stuck on the ones that I've been drinking for 10 years. I'd love to get a knowledge bomb.
Yeah, licorice root is a great one. Gosh, it's been so long since I've used this knowledge that I'm not sure I could even tell you what it's good for. But I think just the taste of licorice root is really good. Nettle is actually a good one. It doesn't have a strong taste on its own, but nettle's really mineral rich, so it can fill in gaps in your nutrition. Gosh, and a third one, raspberry leaf is really good.
Raspberry leaf? I've never even heard of that.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's a good one for pregnancy.
Okay.
Just FYI.
Do you need more help on that one, Zach?
I think you're directing that at the wrong co-host here.
I know. I could also tell you I have lavender chamomile tea every night. The lavender chamomile is really good. Also, every variation of Sleepy Time is amazing. I got one recently that's a raspberry peach that rocks.
Okay.
I didn't know you were an herbal tea guy.
I drink a lot of holy basil. That's my go-to. But I like them all.
Do you drink them for the taste or for the benefits?
Primarily for the benefits. I find holy
more
basil is a good, it curbs my anxiety pretty well.
So
Does it?
Yeah.
I should drink that.
It's supposed to regulate your cortisol. Is
What
my
makes
understanding of it
different from regular basil? What makes it holy?
Yeah.
So, but then, like, not sarcastically, like, is there a difference?
It's a different plant, I believe, altogether.
Yes. So holy basil's class of herbs called adaptogens. And those they can be great. They're great for regulating different kinds of stress in the body, whether it's emotional stress, psychological, physical stress. So holy basil is one. Ashwagandha is another one that's really good for sleep. I didn't even think about the adaptogens. And eleuthera root is another one that I will put into a trail smoothie that I have, and it can be good for endurance. Rhodiola is another good one. So the adaptogens.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of
Not
rhodiola.
necessarily for taste, but for
I take most of those in pill form because I know the taste is not the best. Okay, we'll get off that subject. I'm sure a very small minority of people actually care about that stuff, but I do.
I can definitively say that none of this has ever come up in a call between Katie and
Katie and me. I had no idea we were going to go here.
I was like, who is this person over here?
That's our job here at Backpacker Radio.
I had no idea.
Nook
Keep
and
you on your
cranny.
toes.
Yeah. Okay, Katie, I want to talk about some of your, I can't even call them recent, since you've been on the podcast last, which was many moons ago. Where do we start here? Tell me about, since we just had him on the previous podcast, the trek that you did with Eric Volk.
Yeah, just over Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did a 4-day canyoneering trip in the Western Grand Canyon, based out of Kanab Canyon. And we descended Kanab Zero and then spent a night at the base of that. And so that canyon it's 10 rappels. It's awesome. It's beautiful. And then we sort of base camped there and did a single day canyon the following day, and then came back to the same camp and we did Thanksgiving dinner down there, which I have to say shout out to Eric because he went all out. He vacuum sealed gluten-free stuffing for me. He vacuum sealed a rotisserie chicken that was already cooked, and he vacuum sealed ice and packed them all in the previous day and then kept the chicken in the river under some rocks, like in a a stuff sack. Yeah.
Warm chicken's like
no. Yeah, I know. I was a little worried about that, but he kept it appropriate temperature the whole time. So that was a ton of fun. And then we hiked up canyon and ascended another canyon to get back out to the rim. So it was great. There was 8 of us, which was a big group, but it was a lot of fun and perfect temperature in the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
I would love to see, like, just be a little fly on the wall by that little river and see someone accidentally stumble upon and be like, oh, what's in this bag in the river? And they open it up and it's a fucking rotisserie chicken.
sure the first assumption is like somebody's trying to hide body parts or something like
Right.
that.
But you open it and you see that, and that's just so wholesome.
Yeah, it is wholesome.
So
It's great.
Grand Canyon. So Eric was relaying that is very difficult off-trail hiking.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the most difficult off-trail hiking that you've done?
I would say the Grand Canyon in general. The Grand Canyon and the Brooks Range are the two most like places cumbersome walking in both places, but in different ways. Yeah. I think the Grand Canyon is difficult in different ways, not just challenging walking, but there's a lot of other things that are challenging, which I'm sure he went into, about like water scarcity, a lot of just pokey things there. I mean, those are the big ones. And then just the thing is, you need to pay attention all the time. There's just no sort of like turning your brain off and walking.
Yeah.
It's really, paying attention to navigation, a lot of exposure and crumbly rock.
hate that.
So.
Do you think that people view it as less difficult at a glance just because it's like Grand Canyon's a national park? People go there all the time. It seems more connected than something like the Brooks Range, which is just out there.
I think so. Yeah. And I had that impression as well until I started doing a little bit more hiking in the Grand Canyon. I was like, I mean, how hard could it be? But then you get there and you're like, oh, it's actually very hard. Especially once you get off the main corridor trails and start traveling off trail. Yeah. It's so huge. I mean, we all know that it's big, but until you get out there and start exploring and you see side canyons that are on side canyons that are on side canyons, you're like, it's just the scale of it is incredible.
Yeah, that's cool.
What was your entry into off-trail hiking? Because I think that is probably since the last interview. I could be wrong on that. I'll stop referencing that. But and what was both the first off-trail hike and I guess just the interest that drove you to that?
I think my first off-trail hike was 2016. That was Wind River High Route. So that would have been right before, or a couple years before our last interview. And I think the allure of that, so I had done the PCT in 2014, and I think it's just a natural next step to be a little bit curious about the high routes and navigation, like actually learning navigation more, rather than following my app or following the blazes. I mean, I will honestly say there were many days on the PCT I didn't even know what national forest I was in because I was just walking north, which is sad to say, but it's true.
Yeah.
I just pay a lot more attention when I'm on a route and I'm traveling off trail to my broader surroundings. So yeah, that was, and I had a friend from the PCT who was hiking the Wind River High Route, and he sort of floated the idea to me, and I was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
That version or
Alan's?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Andrew.
Wow.
I know.
I'm sure the specifics of some of your other routes will come up as we get into specific questions here, but I'd like to know, so how did this introduction happen?
Yes. Well, the first time we met, I don't think Andrew probably remembers, I was part...
You've reminded me.
Yeah.
Because the entire night I'm looking over there, I'm like, I had an ex-girlfriend who looks a lot like that.
People tell me that I have they're like, I know you from somewhere. I'm like, no, you don't.
Ex-girlfriend face? I didn't know that.
I call it I have a generic face. But anyways, so I was co-interviewing you for the trail show. Mm-hmm. You were talking about the Fifner Traverse. Mm-hmm. And so we all came to your house. There was like 5 of us. Mm-hmm. And Andrew answered the door with his cat swaddled around his body and like one of those.
This was the old cat, Odin. Yeah.
Odin, like a baby swaddled around him with like a tray of drinks. And I was like, oh, this guy is actually really nice. I'd heard weird things about him on the internet.
I'd heard weird
But
things.
this isn't weird at all. No. This is so normal.
Yeah, he's quite lovely.
Can you give me that drink with your right hand, please?
But yeah, that's how we first met.
That was the first, yeah, but I don't think either of us made any kind of impression on each other at that point.
No, except that you liked cats.
Yeah.
Which was a good impression.
It's a good impression. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then
it was,
I think you applied for, this would have been 2021?
The end of 2020.
The end of 2020. Mm-hmm. So for the 2021 season. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so you applied for a guide position or instructor position?
I applied for a guide position. Which I wasn't even planning on doing. I had just randomly seen an Instagram post of yours one day where you're like, I'm hiring for the 2020 season or 2021 season. how adults can pay their bills being guides, basically. But at that point, I had more of a portfolio of self-employment income with the coaching and the book and the courses. And I thought, why not? And submitted the cover letter and a resume, and then heard back from you and Joe, and it worked out. And yeah, Joe pitched the instructor position as well.
Yeah, it was funny because she was the first interview, and Joe and I both got off the call and went, wow, that would probably work. She was
This is
great.
going to be easy.
She was great.
Yeah. That's funny.
Is she going to be the best candidate we have, or are they all going to be this good?
Yeah.
So you started off as first summer. Yeah, you were doing some online instruction and guiding for us, and then another year of that in 2022, came on as co-director in 2023. What summer did we drive out to California together?
I think both 21 and 22.
Yeah.
And to Utah.
Why don't you tell that? So
That's quite the bonding experience.
well, right. So we need to get out to California. So did I have the van at that point?
Yeah.
Okay. So I picked her up in where we used to meet.
On 70.
Yeah. And Katie we're driving to California. It's like 18 hours. And Katie has like a whole phone worth of podcasts downloaded, like all the memory of the phone to fill time, thinking she's just going to want to be listening to podcasts the whole time in order to like break awkward silence. And we just talked the entire time.
Huh.
Yeah. It came pretty easily.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about getting stranded in the
Oh, that was
desert.
the second year. That was the
I thought
second
we
year.
were talking about that being
Yeah.
our bonding experience.
Oh, there was that too, yeah.
Van broke down?
What was that?
No, you go.
So we finish up our trips in Sequoia Kings. It's like the end of, like 17 days of guiding. And we get down in the Central Valley and we look at the phones and we're like, they're saying it's going to take us like, I don't know, what is it, like 32 hours to get home. And like there's this big traffic jam on I-10 or I-15.
15.
And we're like, no way. Like, what's going on? So we're like, let's go shower up. So we find a truck stop with some showers. We get that all taken care of. We go get some real food. We look at our phones and it's still saying like this just crazy delay on 15. We're like, this just can't be right. So we start driving and we get caught in like the worst traffic jam of our lives. Like some truck had burst into flames carrying a hazmat on like those rolling hills along 15 out in the middle of the Mojave. And
The Mojave in August.
yes, so it was hot. That's why it burst into flames. So it was like a 6-7 hour traffic jam in the middle of the desert. So we ended up like pulling over somewhere, like some truck stop, and just like tried to sleep, but it's like still like 95 degrees at 10-11 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And like when we weren't the only ones, like there were people who were like they're just cars like stranded everywhere because people had run out of gas. People are trying to sleep, and like so everyone has like cars are just like pulled off the highway, like doors wide open. You can see like bodies laying in the back seats and stuff.
It was nuts. Yeah.
Did anyone sleep during that? If it's,
Not really.
Yeah, I was going to say if it's
at
90
least
degrees.
it's one of those things where it's just you try to just get horizontal for a little while.
Yeah.
You have AC in the car?
You can't run the car all night. Yeah, so we just
Speak for yourself. When I drive home to New York, well,
Yeah.
when I wasn't me and Garrett, when it was just me and I would drive home to New York and back every Christmas, I would just sleep at a truck stop whenever I'd get tired. But sometimes it's really fucking cold. Like I drove home that year that there was that crazy storm in Buffalo that like killed all those people. And I drove that stretch and I slept in that stretch and I was just sleeping with the car turned on, like the heat blasting. And I'd get like 3 hours of sleep. It wouldn't be a lot. But I feel like if you're not in a garage with the risk of like accidentally offing yourself, it doesn't hurt to leave the car on. It would be on anyway if you were driving it, right?
That's true.
Is there any downside? Should I not do that?
I think the Earth
not a
doesn't
mechanic.
love it so much.
Yeah.
But you're going to be in the car anyway if you're driving it.
Well,
Yeah,
you're
but
not
if
making
you're not
forward
driving,
progress.
yeah.
Well,
And that's not the decision we made. The decision we made instead was to open up the side door and maybe the back doors and try to get some ventilation through. But it wasn't a great night.
Just
sleep.
take turns fanning each other.
Yeah. So
Okay, Katie, so you're the co-director now.
Yes.
Is there any guiding involved with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, still a lot of guiding.
Okay.
I honestly, I don't think I'd do the job if I didn't get to guide still.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do the job. If I didn't do the job.
we both kind
The
of.
rest of the job is not that great. It's like
No, that
looks
great.
like a lot of other jobs.
Yeah, just hunched
On
over
a computer, virtual meetings,
Yeah.
Yeah.
spreadsheets, payroll.
Yeah. So do you know offhand how many trips you've guided?
Oh gosh.
I do.
Okay.
Not offhand. I have to look it up. I definitely have a spreadsheet for that.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
Gosh, total days, 250 days.
Wow.
Maybe.
Okay.
Somewhere in the 200 to 250. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
All right, quickly give me your favorite and least favorite guiding experiences.
Oh, experiences. Oh man. I think favorite guiding experience, probably the first time I guided in the Brooks Range, because I had never been there before, and it's just such a unique and wild landscape. It feels so remote because it is so remote, and yeah, there's not one specific moment that stands out to me, except I wasn't expecting to be there because I was a backup guide that year, and then I think it was Christy got COVID that year. That was a rough year for COVID for us in Alaska. And I got called in last minute, so it was sort of a surprise.
Yeah.
And felt very just incredible to be there. Gosh, that's probably favorite, least favorite.
Stuck in Inuvik, also. In the
Oh yeah, I can also mention it, but yeah, another Brooks Range. It's not totally uncommon for the bush flights to get canceled due to weather, which is fine. If the pilot doesn't want to fly, I support that decision.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting stuck at the quote unquote airport in Anaktuvik Pass, where it's just a gravel strip, and so when you get stuck there, it's this little town where you fly out of that's in the center of the Brooks Range. But if your flight doesn't go out, you're essentially like camping behind the willow bushes, trying to find food out of the corporation store there, which is very pricey, and there's nothing fresh, and you're usually just very ready to be done. So I think, 2 years ago I got stranded there. It wasn't horrible.
For how long?
Just a night, but
Okay.
when, it's like when you're ready to be done with something,
Yeah.
you're ready to be done.
Yeah.
So
It's not like you're posted up at the highlight of the experience either.
exactly. Yeah.
Good.
After this much time working with Skurka, what are some things that people don't know about him? We all know about the cats and the dirty hands. but what are some things we don't know?
In case anyone doesn't know yet, I love cats, and I don't use toilet paper in the backcountry. That's in case anyone hadn't caught on to that yet.
Gosh, it's hard. I don't know what people know about him or don't know about him. He's very fair person to work for. I think something that people do know is he solves every problem with a spreadsheet. You could probably guess that. Gosh, it's easier to be prompted with questions about this.
Yeah. What's the weirdest thing that he's ever done where you're like, huh, that's strange, but okay?
Oh gosh.
We can come back
Nothing
to it.
surprises me. Yeah.
Good answer.
For example, my
Couldn't
answer
have
would
said
be
it better myself.
one example I would give is one time me and Zach were hiking something somewhere, and I am always behind because I'm slower and shorter. And I came up to where he was waiting for me, and he was just doing fucking push-ups, just in the middle of push-ups as I was walking, just kept going until I got there and finished his set. I thought that was pretty odd.
Yeah.
But can't forget
Can't
arm
stop
day.
mid-set.
Yeah, so that was a.
It hurts if you stop.
Katie has definitely never come up
I
on
was
me while I've
about-
been doing
I was
push-ups.
about to say that
It
too.
was a sight to see.
Well, Amanda would love that. Every once in a while, me doing some push-ups. It's not happening.
You know how disheartening it is when you're really just out of breath and tired and fatigued because you've been hiking all fucking day, and then you come up to your person you're hiking with and they're just doing more exercise.
If it makes you feel any better, I was so far ahead of you that for the first 10 minutes, I was just waiting.
Yeah,
and then
I
at
feel
a certain
great.
point, I was bored. I'm like, I'm going to do something with this time.
This is the tale as old as time. Is what everyone says who hikes with me. So.
Pube on my tongue. Got Skurka's pube on my tongue.
All right.
Hey.
What the hell was that? What was that?
I don't even remember the reference, do you?
Yeah, these little white hairs on the microphone. We started calling them Skurka's pubes at one point. And whenever they get on our tongue, we say we got Skurka's pubes on our tongue.
Oh, it's because we were joking that.
Didn't
I
you say
think-
you had gray pubes on one episode?
Did I really share that?
I think so. So now whenever we see these white hairs on these, we call them Skurka's
Oh
pubes.
boy, it's revealing too much. Hey, man.
This goes back to people don't forget.
I think that, gosh, I can't. I'm glad you guys remember some of this stuff. Yeah, it was probably reference to just like one of the signs. I'm 44, so one of the signs of getting old. It's sort of you're like, oh, okay. And like the most masculine of your parts. Yeah.
Age from the middle out. That's how it works. Anyways, actually, I'm gonna shift this back to Katie. This is very random.
Great.
But
I was like, oh, good. We're on Andrew now.
Yeah.
I want to do a little backpacking advice. I thought this was an interesting and well done post. Something that you'd posted on Instagram. I think it's a couple years old, so I'll prompt you. So you're not quizzing you on posts that you made that long ago, but you did a post about 5 of the biggest mistakes you made as a beginner backpacker. I would just love for you to talk through them a little bit. So the first one you mentioned was focusing too much on getting your gear perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a trap. There's so much information about gear out there, and I think it's really easy to, just go down the rabbit hole of it. And it's sort of like analysis paralysis, to delay taking action on something until you have the perfect kit put together. But you don't need the perfect gear to thru hike or to backpack at all. You need functional gear that works. And you can, as we all know, you can lighten as you go. You don't have to upgrade it all at once or buy all the nicest things at once. And I think that it can be easy if you're watching what other people are doing or just reading things on the internet to think that you need to have the perfect gear. And I don't think you do. I think you just need like functional gear that works.
Yeah.
There was PMags, this post is like probably really old, but he wrote, Paul Magnanti wrote a post a long time ago about like getting a full backpacking kit for like under $300. And I thought that was so great because it just like makes it much more accessible for people who feel either it's too expensive or they don't know what to get. It's like you just need to get something that works and you can upgrade from there.
Yeah.
So Paul Magnanti only hikes with a Cuban fiber stuff sack for $300.
Oh, I was like, what? Yeah, right, exactly. One stuff sack. No, I think it was a lot of army surplus items in that last.
That's definitely Paul.
Yeah.
I would also say if you start off in that manner with cheaper stuff that's maybe not as high end, you get better stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't get the fun fuck up stories if you start with everything perfect. Who wants that? That's boring.
Yeah.
It's also nice to experience the level up because, like, I started off with fairly beginner gear on the AT, and then by the next through hike, I got, all the top of the line UL stuff, and it was nice to have the A/B comparison of like a 30-pound pack versus a 14-pound pack, like.
Totally.
Yeah.
I started the AT with a 55-pound pack because I had just borrowed stuff from people because I don't even know if I'm going to like this thing. So I just borrowed things. I had an external frame pack and like an old synthetic sleeping bag. And then by the time, what's the first main stop? Neil's Gap?
Yeah.
Yeah, I dropped a lot of money there. And
Yeah.
I was like, if I'm going to keep doing this, I need a much lighter pack.
Just an observation. It's actually nice that we've gotten to the point with gear that when you spend more, you actually like lighten up. It used to be the case, definitely when I first started backpacking more than 20 years ago, where if you spent more, it would just be heavier.
Yeah. Yeah, because most of the gear purchases are at REI, and like the more money is just like additional features, which are an extra zipper or something stupid that doesn't actually help you.
Extra suspension on your backpack,
or
bigger shelter, or
more pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The next thing you mentioned was neglecting strength and mobility. This one's resonating as I'm getting older, for sure, especially the mobility part.
Yeah, I think that one I probably wrote because I was doing power yoga the winter before I did the CDT, and I hadn't done any sort of any mobility or any type of strength at all, whether it's body weight exercises or anything, before any of my other hikes. And I distinctly remember feeling much stronger, like I was much slower to fatigue on the CDT, and just overall better on that hike. Like I had more longevity, could hike longer days, and so I think that's why that one really landed for me.
Yeah,
it's easy. I think it's really easy to like, I have to do as much cardio as I possibly can to prepare, but you forget about strengthening the muscles and muscular endurance.
Yeah. Andrew, you mentioned that you wouldn't get caught be doing a set of push-ups. Are you doing strength training?
No.
Mobility?
Do I look like it? No, none of the above. I dedicate every available moment I have to recreation towards running still.
Yeah. Running 2.5 hour marathons.
I'm not that fast anymore.
What's your marathon time?
Well, my PR is 2:27.
You know what mine is?
5:27.
Nope. Go higher. 7 on the dot.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
How'd you manage that one?
I just kept going. But without training.
7 hours. That's 4.
You get drunk and you decide a targeted ad for a marathon pops up on your feed and you think, how hard can it be? And so you
It's
sign
tomorrow
up while
morning.
drunk so that you can't pull out. And then like as it gets closer, you just forget about it. And then the day comes and you're like, oh shit.
So did you start slow and finish slower, or did you just?
No, I started pretty good. I got to the halfway point before, like just as the 3-hour cutoff was happening.
Okay.
And then around mile 17, I'd say, just everything fell apart.
Wheels came off.
And it was like I can jog for a tiny bit if I hate myself, but I'm not going any faster than walking. So I just started speed walking.
It's remarkable how it, for through hikers in particular, like 26 miles doesn't. It's really not that big of a deal.
That's what I thought.
And but it's can be a punishing event if you don't do it right.
Oh,
The
for
pavement's
sure.
not kind.
Yeah.
On the feet seats.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I remember even at last marathon I ran, I'm on pace to run whatever like when we hit Heartbreak Hill, and I passed a guy who was walking, like this is a guy who was on pace to run like 2:25, and he was walking up Heartbreak Hill. I'm like, how does that happen? This guy is super fit and he's been brought to a walk.
Is he trying to manage his heart rate or something?
Yeah,
or
no, he just
what
didn't
is
do
Heartbreak
it.
Hill? I
Just
don't know what that is.
Oh, it's in Boston. It's where
Okay.
it's like mile, like it starts at mile 20. It's a sequence of hills,
Uh-huh.
but it just kind of comes at the worst time because up to that point you've been doing a lot of downhill. You're approaching the end of the race where your glycogen stores are dwindling, and then the course picks up
Yeah.
uphill. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I'd hate
it's just
that.
it's sort of notorious for it. The difficulty of that section of the course sort of coincides with where you normally would be suffering in a marathon anyway, and so it makes grown men walk. Yeah.
I'm sure I've asked you about this, but I don't remember the answer. Have you considered trail races like 50s, 100s?
I used to. It's difficult to have any like normal life and also train at a high level for an ultra marathon.
Uh-huh.
You're
Makes
looking
sense.
at like 15, 20 hours a week.
And then you're gone guiding for a lot of the year.
Yeah, well, and then that's just like movement time in like a typical
Right.
week, 15 and 20 hours, and that's not like showering, eating, napping with the cat. And truth be told, like I mean, Amanda would tell you, maybe she did tell you last time we were all together, like you're almost like not even a full human being when you're training at that level.
Mm.
Like you just can't. There isn't much else going on.
Yeah.
Let's go back to number 3 because this podcast isn't about me.
I thought it was.
Yes.
No, it's a trap.
Strange.
It was a
It's a
trap.
trap. Yeah,
It was
just
I was tricked.
enticed you down here. Yeah.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
one feels like maybe it's kind of a segue from the first one, but waiting too long to start planning and preparing.
Yeah, I think that one is pretty self-explanatory. It's just giving yourself enough time to train properly,
Yeah.
and not feel super stressed out.
Love this one. This one definitely resonates. Not knowing your why.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's going to get hard at some point, and I think having a good reason for being out there beyond just, oh, it's going to sound, well, maybe that is a reason, but like, oh, it's going to sound great when I talk about this afterwards. But I think knowing what's driving you for being out there really matters, because when it does get challenging, having a reason to be out there.
Does that apply for these routes that you do, or those short enough that it's just like the journey is so much, I guess, honeymoon or type 2 fun or whatever, however you want to classify it, but like you don't go through the same mental dilemmas? I don't know. Would you say it applies?
I think it applies for the routes as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember being on the Great Basin Trail with Dirtmonger, and there were definitely challenging times out there. And I remember, I don't think I had a strong why for being out there at the time, because I remember being like, what am I doing out here? Maybe I should just go home. But ultimately, I realized it was because I really wanted to experience that landscape. I hadn't walked around Nevada much before, and it was really beautiful, and just did enjoy the time outside. But yeah, I think it can occur on any route or trail or any multi-night, multi-week, probably backpacking experience. Yeah. Why do you say it resonates for you?
kind of basically boiled down the Appalachian Trials is knowing your why. You can say it in a sentence. I just saved you guys $12. Don't buy the book anymore. But yeah, that's like the big takeaway for me. That was the thing that got me through the AT, because I had no skills and couldn't have been more novice. But like I was very determined because I went through that practice. So definitely can resonate with that.
Yeah.
The last one you mentioned was failing to anticipate challenges.
Yeah, I think it's sort of a worst case scenario thinking, and I try to do a version of that before any trip that I do or any big life endeavor where I'm thinking, okay, what would the worst thing that is going to happen? What could it be, and how would I deal with it? And I think that's really helpful for being in the moment and dealing with when that thing actually happens and knowing how you would respond to it. And I think most of all, a big takeaway can be, I'll find a way to figure it out. I will, whatever the thing is, you will find a way to be resourceful and to get through it. And most likely it's not going to be like the end of you. It will be maybe a bummer, something that happens. But yeah, I think anticipating those things that can go wrong, whether it's a weather related thing or issue with a hiking partner or anything like that, thinking those through in advance can be really helpful in helping you stay out there and complete your trek or your journey.
Yeah.
I feel like you do that. You anticipate, what will I forget when I get to the trailhead?
Sure.
And then we get to play the fun game of what did you forget?
What did I forget? There's always something.
But you
Sometimes
do anticipate forgetting something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it comes to fruition.
Yeah. I've forgotten my tent stakes.
Sleeping pad.
Sleeping pad.
I tried to take a sleeping pad off a through hiker
He
one
needs
time.
a checklist.
I do need a checklist. Yeah. Yep.
I once forgot a spoon.
That's tough.
I think that's the most common one.
It's got to be one of the worst things to forget.
Yeah.
Because you would think a small item like that, like, oh, it's just a spoon. There's nothing in nature that is spoon-like.
And then are you eating your dehydrated meals out of like a Ziploc bag? Like, what do you...
No, I just cook in my pot. But you can't even...
I'm trying to like envision, like, are you just pouring it?
Yeah,
trying to dump it in a controlled way?
You don't have anything to even stir with.
Right.
I was going to say, when we did the Grayson Highlands hike with Rachel and Alex, didn't we forget spoons? Because weren't we all waiting on Rachel's spoon and taking turns?
I think that was just you that time.
No, I think you didn't have a spoon either.
We can run back the tape because that was on video, but I think that was just you.
Okay, it's possible.
Yeah. But
I don't know where my spoon currently is, so I mean, it definitely was me, but I think it might have also been you.
Yeah.
A spoon is one of the things that we put in the group first aid kit. That and water bottle caps.
Mm-hmm.
We used to put AAA batteries, but that doesn't exist anymore.
Those times are gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do people not use headlamps?
Rechargeable.
USB,
Really?
mostly.
What's the new go-to headlamp? I'm still using Black Diamond.
So if you don't, let's see, I think a lot of us probably use that Nightcore.
The Nightcore.
Or was it the something 23? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know the model.
26. But it's rechargeable, so you don't have to ever deal with batteries again.
I'll have to look that up.
Now, when you're packing headlamps, is this for just like light usage at camp, or is this for you're factoring in some night hiking?
No, not on the guided trips.
Okay.
I've done night hiking with 2 groups, and in neither instance did I want to be night hiking.
Yeah. Fair.
Usually we will use them more in the morning on like some of the shoulder season trips. So like a 5:30 a.m. wake up in Utah, or another early wake up in Yellowstone or something in September. Yeah.
I've got a January hike coming up, so I imagine there'll be some night hiking just due to the length of the day. Do you have like a minimum lumen that you'd use?
It's been a while since I even looked. You will not regret carrying something that is equivalent to like a car head beam.
Yeah.
Just carry the weight.
Yeah.
I would look into the like what's popular among the ultra runners.
Good intel.
That's a good place to look.
And also you want like flood. You don't just want like spot.
Yeah.
Because like spot, usually climbers like spots, but it's difficult because you're very, very narrow tunnel vision or a tunnel of vision.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have spots, quite a bit wider. Feels more like daytime.
Have you tried any of the? I see that now that there's like gloves that have lights. Have you tried anything like that? It feels
Haven't, but that's actually great. Like, 'cause so I mean, I used to do a lot more night hiking than I do now. I try to avoid it at all costs. But if you have a light lower down, it casts shadows on things, so it's better for depth perception. If your light is basically at eye level, it won't like illuminate. It'll illuminate a rock, but it won't tell you how tall that rock is off the trail. Whereas if you can see a shadow on it.
Yeah.
We got a patent pending for trekking pole headlamp.
Yeah. Oh, you were saying that's one that you've done before.
Yeah, we've done it.
Yeah. Good. Okay. So one of the themes that we've done in these interviews in the past is you've kind of given us like themes for the world of backpacking, or things that you've noticed with the hikers that you're guiding, just like how things have changed or evolved over time. Like we had an in-depth conversation, I think a couple episodes ago, about just how the massive uptick in fires has changed your perspective on how you look at backpacking out west past X date. Has there been any standout thing that you've noticed for 2025, or if you want to lump in 2024, just like trends or changes or things that you've noticed in the world of hiking?
One thing that we keep talking about between the two of us, and I don't know if the way I'll usually say is like, I don't know if it's because I'm just like a older, wiser 44-year-old and this is where I am in life, or if this is life in 2025. But people really seem to appreciate, and I definitely appreciate the time outside without distractions, like of just being present with other people.
Yeah.
I think in the wake of COVID and with the increased use of social media, like it's actually like rare, and work from home is still very popular. Like it's kind of rare to just have like just old timey conversations with people without scrolling getting in the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that people comment on the most after our trips as well. It's like connecting with the other people around them.
Yeah.
In an undistracted way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's especially important, like in a challenging political landscape. I feel like people are even more addicted to their screens because, picking up the controversy or the doomsday of the day.
Yeah, your daily rage.
Yeah, exactly. Just getting a little time away from that is the serenity that we all deserve and need. Yeah. So to that point, do you have any standout trips, either something that either of you have guided personally or just like really high remarks from something that maybe a different group went on?
I'm not sure I can answer that question directly. One of the things I started doing this last summer, and this came through Amanda. So it's an exercise that helps with anxiety because it's like this grounding exercise. So if you find yourself, like, the prompt would be if you find yourself like sort of stressed out or anxious or kind of worked up, you would do this. But honestly, it's nice to do just like at any time. So wherever you are, whatever the setting is that you find yourself, you identify 5 things that you can see, and then 4 things that you can hear, and 3 things you can feel, and 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. And when you're going through the exercise, you'd be really descriptive. So you might say, I can hear a canyon wren, and it's sort of like a kind of a high-pitched, like, beautiful melody. Like, you would be descriptive with it. You wouldn't just say, like, I can hear a canyon wren. And you get done with that exercise, and it's like, it just puts you there.
Sure.
Like, you become much more, you're just enlivening or awakening all your senses and making you present in that moment.
Yeah.
Should we play?
5 things you see.
What are 5 things you see right now?
I see this very classic Coca-Cola bottle with Santa Claus on it. 'Tis the season. I see John
Stop looking at my ass.
sitting in the for the entire time so far, she's been sitting in her chair with her legs folded up underneath her.
It's her mobility training.
It's just my pose.
Can you still feel your toes?
Yeah.
I mean, my feet would have fallen asleep, and both ACLs would have torn if I had been doing that.
It's fun on the YouTube, plug for the YouTube, because it looks like I don't have legs.
Extra,
my body just stops where the table is.
Extra Patreon subscribers. I noticed immediately the green shoes. As soon as you put them in there, I was like, oh, we're sponsored by Topo today.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are.
Is that 3?
It's 3.
I noticed the wallet that I just put on the table because I was starting to get pins and needles in my right foot. Needed it, which reminds me of the Seinfeld episode where, the trifold that's like giving him hip displacement.
You did get the bad chair.
And then this, I can see this PBR glass with water that came out of it, or water in it. And based on the way you describe the water, I'm not sure I should drink it. It sounds like it's like a direct pipe from Clear Creek or something.
Yeah. I mean, it's pre-Coors water right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the good stuff.
Yeah. So that's how you would start. So you would go through the rest too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really great exercise. Amanda and I started doing it just to help with some anxiety stuff, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to use this in the field.
Yeah, I like that. I guess maybe a different way to ask a more interesting question is, for the trips that you guys guided this past year, or maybe we could even look to the year ahead to answer it however you see more appropriate, but give me the trip that's in highest demand and then the trip that you think is the most underrated.
I'll let you go.
Okay. Well, I can give the one that I think is in the highest demand, but you're on top of the stats always. So
Professor Spreadsheet over here.
Yes. I will say, I think the trip that's probably in highest demand right now, I think is the Alaska Signature Series, which is like a Gates of the Arctic high route that Andrew is going to guide. It's a line that he's been looking at in the Brooks Range for the past few years, and scouting some of that to link that up. I would say that's probably highest
So this
demand.
is one that hasn't been done yet.
Not the whole thing. I think you've done portions of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then what was the second part of it? Least?
Most underrated.
Most underrated. Oh, gosh. I feel like Escalante, Southern Utah, is an underrated location in general. I think any of the trips there are good. But I think if people haven't been to Southern Utah before, they don't know how special it can be, especially when we're there in the spring and you have the bright green cottonwoods against the red rock, and you have the Escalante River flowing there, and all the desert wildflowers are coming out. So I think I'd say, the most underrated location. Yeah. How would you answer that?
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cop-out for Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So speaking of Escalante, in the previous episode we had Eric Boak on, and he was passionate about not sharing specifics of routes that he's done, specifically the Grand Canyon.
Well, that's good because he has a lot of route beta at this point. Yeah.
Citing like how sensitive the environments are, and just like it can put hikers at risk if they don't have the adequate skills to go do that. But obviously, like, it's core to your business to share some of this information. So I'm just curious to know how you balance those two things, that like sharing this without playing a part in encouraging people who might not have the adequate skills to go out there and put themselves in trouble.
I try not to be the gatekeeper. I think it's people have been sharing information about routes and places for a long time. I think it's but there's a way to do it to, I think, more to like protect the experience than to like necessarily protect the person. So I think like my favorite guidebook author is like Steve Allen, definitely is a favorite guidebook author. Steve Roper also wrote a very good guidebook for the Sierra High Route. When you read their books, if it reads to you like a scavenger hunt, that's probably means it's a good. So like you actually have to be there to understand what they're talking about. Like when, Steve Allen says, after walking up the canyon for, about 15 minutes, you'll notice a Navajo brow with a high vertical crack. And immediately across the canyon is where you're going to pick up the constructed cattle trail up the other side. And like, unless you're there, you're like, what is he even talking about? So I think that's kind of the way to do it. But it's tough. Like, I think one of the challenges nowadays is that information is so easily shared or distributed. It's not, it's like, the generation before it would have been like published guidebooks. which is something that you would at least have had to go to a store and buy.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the generation before that, it would have been like, hand-drawn maps. Like when you look at the old Camp 4 stories, they've got like hand-drawn maps of the routes on like the big walls. So we're careful about it internally. Like we call we have basically like the keys to the castle for all of our locations. We've been guiding in these places for a long time, and we have some internal maps that are guide only, and they have it all. They tell you about like how difficult the passes are, where you can go up and down between the layers, where you might find good campsites, where there might be a fox den, where there's some archaeological interest. Like it has it all. So we keep that thing under lock and key.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Eric does the same thing. I mean, Eric, when I have access to a couple of Eric's files, but he keeps it tight.
Yeah.
What are some of the fun things that they'll find in these locked up files? For example, the fox den. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
What other things have you noted that are just like not as obvious as good campsite, water, etc.?
The spear point I found last year in Escalante that was like bigger than my head. It's like apparently they used to kill woolly mammoths down there. I mean, you do the maps. What else has been pretty fascinating on there?
Like good swimming holes.
Yeah.
Will be some of them. Sometimes weird, not weird, but like an exploded backpack from the 1970s, or like in the Brooks Range we have one that's like a I think like a 1970s old Kelty frame. That's just like so like just junk. Yeah.
Also the 6-pack of a beer from like 1971.
Unopened?
Yeah.
No way.
I'm trying to. It was a malt liquor beer that I found. Was that on the trip with you? Were you on that trip?
Mm-mm.
How do you decide pack it out versus this is a landmark? Let's put it on
It's
the
actually
map?
easy. So it's Antiquities Act says 50 years or older, you leave.
Even if it's something that could be obviously trash?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like an artifact at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're checking the age of the beer on the can and
Yeah,
being like, can't drink
apparently
them.
there are all sorts of people, like you can go down the rabbit hole on it because like you could look at the beer or you could look at the can and say, all right, this was like a pull tab, and like there wasn't a SKU number on it, or it wasn't a barcode. So like barcodes weren't introduced until 1974. So yeah, you could kind of work it back.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it does get weird though, because a lot of our clients will point out they're like, heck, I'm older than 50 years, and like so they so like
Buy an artifact.
Yeah. And I think there's also a difference between like plastic and not plastic.
Yeah.
For me, in my mind, like if something is, but again, like plastic is sort of that's more like 80s, right? So that still technically would be trash.
I'd just like to think that somebody
soon.
Yeah, somebody in like 40 years finds like
4 years.
No, I'm saying in 40 years they find like a ring pop, like the part of the ring. They're like, no, don't touch that. That's an antique. Like, no, that's trash. I don't care how long it's been there.
Well, it is crazy to think in 4 years something that was left out in 1980 would technically be protected under this.
Yeah.
That's freaking bonkers.
Yeah, like an Aber record or something.
A Tamagotchi.
So in like the intro of your guides, are you pretty forthright about like the skills that you need to have, or just the sensitivity of the area that they're heading into?
Yeah, I think that's normal, like preface talk.
Yeah.
But you don't have control over it. Like if you publish a guidebook for something, you don't have control over it at that point.
Sure.
So it's going to get out there, and we there's like hesitation, right? Like we're aware of the impact that we can create, not ourselves directly so much as just sharing that information, putting that information out. It's been a while since I've been in like the Sierra High Route, but I remember when you last did it, like 2023, 2024, you said it was like a use trail all the way along like the Monarch Divide now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So these places change. But on the other hand, the Sierra High Route for a lot of people is like the lifetime best wilderness experience.
Yeah.
Why are you going to keep that from them?
For sure.
What's like, so some rocks don't get pushed aside? Like,
Right.
That's tough, you know.
These are public lands also. It's like
yeah.
some people I think have too strong of a stance of like, how dare somebody else go out to this spot that I enjoy all the time, and that attitude's
that I have the access to and I know how to get around it. And
yeah,
it kind of reminds me, you know, the city to the north of us right now, like, you know, a lot of attitudes up there about, well, Boulder was great back in the 70s, but, you know, when I got here, and then they want to, like, you know, pull up the moat ramp.
For sure.
Yeah.
So what, you mentioned the trek in Alaska. What other new trips do you have for 2026?
So we have a few new ones this year. So we've been doing the last 2 years this signature series, and so they are trips that are taking place in locations that we are sort of our classic locations, but they're routes that we put the group together for the route versus like other trips where we put a group together of like-abled and similar experienced backpackers, and then we create a route for them or a proposed route. The signature series trips instead are routes that, like this Gates of the Arctic line, for example, that Andrew's been looking at for a few years, where he's like, I really want to do that. I'm going to find the right group of 7 clients to bring together to do that specific thing. And so, excuse me, another one that we're doing this year that's in that signature series in Escalante is in the Stevens Fold area. So those are 2 canyons that are in the lower Escalante, and we'll probably it'll be a 7-day trip, and it'll be exploring canyons down there. It won't be canyoneering, but it'll be a lot of like scrambling, probably class 4, maybe low 5th, travel, a lot of route finding. There's no trails down there. So that's one of them. And then
there's the canyoneering 201 course. So we've been running these technical expedition canyoneering trips. This is like technical like ropes, harnesses, helmets, you know, overhang rappels, vertical rappels, and we've been doing that for, I think this was year 3, at least year 2, probably year 3. So we have enough of an alumni base at this point that and they've been asking for it. So we're going to run a canyoneering 201 course. So like more hardcore, I think is.
Yeah, I think those get further out.
Yeah, that just do some canyons that we haven't been able to do before as groups. And then we talked about the Alaska trips, the signature series. In California, we have, there's a peak bagging trip, 7-day peak bagging trip, and there'll be an 11-day high route. I'm not sure which one it's going to be yet. Depends a little bit on permits.
And then we're doing naturalist trip this year in Yellowstone in Utah.
Yeah, we try to I think the key thing for us, like we don't like to be bored. So we try to, we're constantly trying to run trips that we want to guide.
That was my question is, when you're picking which trips you're guiding, are you just taking the ones that you both want to do, or how do you do?
We try to spread the wealth.
Okay.
I mean, we are in the position where we get to decide, so we might, usually, I think we try to be fair with it. I think because we also want our guides to be having fun. Yeah. So we don't just take our pick of the litter and let them have the scraps. Yeah. So of all the trips on the table, what is or would be your number 1 draft pick? You've got the first pick of the litter. You'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna take this one for Andrew. You guys get some good ones, but this one's mine. Well, I mean, it's already established, so I'll be doing both of these Gates of the Arctic high route trips.
Damn, you had to take both?
And that's, it's kind of, I think the way the scheduling works, you kind of need to, that's kind of the way it needs to happen. What about you?
I would take that one too.
Yeah.
If there was one left to take.
Right, exactly.
I mean, that's such a, here's the thing though, there's like a marketing effect of these signature series. But our normal trip is really good.
It is.
So I've had some people, writing me, and they're like, well, I think I'm probably moderate fitness, which is we have run a lot of moderate trips, and they're like, but I really want to do that signature series trip in Alaska with you. And it's probably not a great fit for you, but also just if you go on a 7 or 11-day trip in the Brooks Range with us, it's going to be awesome. It doesn't don't think that these are the only or that these routes or these trips are the only good ones we're going to run in a season. Yeah. Our normal is very good.
To that point, do you have any new guides either that you're bringing on for 26 or that started this past year that you're really excited about? I saw, I'm not sure if he's still active, but I saw Brandon Chase's name listed on the website.
Yep, Brandon's up there. Yeah, why don't you talk about our new guides? Yeah.
Yeah, we brought on 4 new guides in 2025. So we brought on 3 Knowles guides. So folks who've been guiding, gosh, I think at least 10 years each. Probably more. Yeah, a lot of days in the field. Aaron Devine is one of them. He is a professor at Northern Arizona University in the recreation department there, and then guides as well. And then there's Nadine Lanner. Yeah. She's a mountaineer, also guides for Knowles. She has her own guiding company in Patagonia as well. And then Andy Paul is the 3rd Knowles guide that we brought on this past year. He lives in Palmer, Alaska. He also is a mountaineer and does Denali trips as well. And then we brought on Tina Curran, who lives up here above Boulder in Nederland, and she's a prolific thru hiker and writer for quite a few different outdoor publications.
I think I'm recognizing name from outside or backpack.
Yeah,
both.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Knowles connection wasn't intentional, but the reality is Knowles does a fantastic job in training their guides.
Yeah.
And they also, Knowles instructors tend to do a lot of field days. So just the guiding experience really racks up. I mean, they're regularly sent out for 30, 60, 90 days at a time. So you could just, so they're really well trained. They're really well experienced. And it turns out the Knowles doesn't maybe
compensate them well.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
And they like to carry heavy shit.
Yes.
So we're offering something a little different.
Yeah.
And a little bit more flexibility too. I mean, this is something, the guide work for us it's part-time, it's seasonal, it can be part of a portfolio. So if your life isn't no longer conducive to just being full-time instructor, we have something for you.
Yeah.
What are some tips for someone who wants to get into guiding, that wants to be able to put together a resume that stands out? You mentioned when you applied, you sent over your resume and a cover letter. And I feel like in the quote unquote real world, people go back and forth on, should I put my thru hike on my resume in general? Because they're applying to, corporate jobs and shit. But if someone's goal is to be employed in the outdoor world and they have something like a thru hike under their belt and they want to transition into guiding or anything adjacent, what would be good for them to get as resume builders, and what would be ways to talk about something like a thru hike, where it's if you apply to REI because you've done a thru hike, so has everyone else, right? How do you talk about that in a way that makes it stand out to someone like either of you?
Well, our organization might not be looking for the same thing as someone else. So when we look at applications, we're looking for a couple of things, and we kind of want to see them all. So we want to see very extensive personal firsthand backpacking experience. So not just a thru hike, but multiple thru hikes, high routes, off-trail travel. So that's a big plus. We like to see prior guiding experience or some kind of teaching experience. So I have worked with students as a camp counselor. I have been a ranger. I have, I do search and rescue. I used to teach K through 12, whatever it might be, but how to teach, because that's what our program is about, teaching, or partly about teaching. And then the last thing, and this kind of comes up a little bit more in an interview, would be you need to be a good people person. You need to be take on the role of being in service, and you need to be able to read people and communicate well and be patient and be friendly and kind and funny and a good storyteller. So it's a tough combination of things. I think other organizations probably aren't quite as, their hiring criteria might be a little less or lower.
Are there things you would do differently on the structure of a resume? If I'm applying in the corporate world, I'm putting my name and contact info at the top. I'm putting my recent employment history and what I achieved at those roles. I'm putting my education and maybe a list of skills. If I'm applying for something like this, is it better to buff up certain areas versus others, where maybe I would add a section to talk about some of those things? What would look good?
Your base weight?
Yeah. Imagine.
Zach, is she applying?
No, I've already applied. You didn't take me. That was years ago. I don't think I'd be good at this job.
I think with all resumes, it should be targeted towards what the employer wants, right? Or what the organization wants. So like in our case, I just told you the 3 things we're looking for is like put those 3 things at the top of your resume.
All right.
But if you're a thru hiker and you're trying to find a normal 9-to-5 job, I would probably put it at the very bottom.
Yeah.
Along with a couple of other things that make you interesting.
Your base weight.
Sure.
Are you giving someone an interview if their backpacking resume is only on trail? Do they have to have off-trail experience for you to be interested at this point?
Not necessarily, but wouldn't be like a
deal breaker.
Absolute deal breaker, but they would have to offer something else to offset that.
Yeah.
So as an example, like Tina, not a lot of off-trail experience, but prolific thru hiker, park ranger, local, which is a big plus, very good people person.
Mm-hmm.
So but we also look at her as a little bit more of a work in progress because guiding is a skill. Like backpacking is a skill, guiding is a skill. Just because you have one skill doesn't mean you have the other. So it's going to take her a couple seasons to to develop that guiding experience.
Mm.
We were talking about before the show started how engineers make good route finders. Are there professions that make good guides? Or types that oh, you're an engineer, you'd be a good route finder. Or, oh, you're a blank, you'd be a great guide.
I will say if you've been in the service industry, because it is the service industry, and so you need to know how to work with a lot of different personalities, and sometimes to just close your mouth and smile when someone says something that you might not agree with. And to be thinking, you need to know how to think in a way that you're putting yourself into their shoes of, oh, they're actually maybe being a little coming off as a little standoffish because they're actually really scared right now, or they're really nervous, or this situation that we're going into where there's maybe a rockfall hazard is going to make somebody uncomfortable, and so how can I put these people at ease? So I think being service oriented is probably the biggest one, really just being empathetic and able to connect with people.
Yeah, a lot of thru hikers actually probably don't necessarily come to the table with that skill, because thru hiking is very me.
For sure. Yeah. Hike at my pace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It can be a really tough adjustment.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just group travel can be a tough adjustment for a thru hiker, and then to be like a trip leader, that's another step.
I don't think I'd be good at it for that reason.
No.
We were on the precipice of doing a guided thing not too long ago, and it was short, so I knew that we would be able to pull it off, but
and we had gone to the lengths to make sure that we wouldn't be on top of logistics and shit.
Right. But acting as the tour guide for days, consecutive days, is not a natural skill set for me. That's something I would definitely have to hone as I did.
Yeah. When I'm really, really tired on trail, I can't mask that and be just hey, let me help you with your problems.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm trying to fucking deal with mine.
It's hard. It is hard.
That's one of the guide skills. It's so I always say I'm like I am a much nicer person when I'm hungry, when I'm well fed.
Yeah.
I always pack a little bit of extra food as a guide, because I've made the mistake enough times where I'm oh, I'm gonna my pack weighs too much. I'm gonna I'm gonna pull out a couple of sleeves of Oreos, and wrong move. Yeah. Better just to be fat and happy.
And extra layers too, because you're going to be standing around a lot more than you normally would.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever accidentally snapped at someone?
I'm sure. Yeah, especially I've chilled out as I've gotten older. I'm sure in my earlier years I was definitely less skilled in my earlier years. Yeah, and still imperfect, still imperfect, but seem more consistently good now.
Katie?
Have I snapped anybody?
She doesn't
Or
snap.
has I
No.
seen Andrew snap? Have I seen Andrew snap?
Katie is.
You have seen him?
No.
Katie is
haven't-
Ohio nice. It
I
doesn't.
haven't-
There's no
haven't
snapping.
I haven't seen him snap at anybody, but he does occasionally receive the feedback that he's a little bit impatient with
Yeah.
navigation. He
Yeah.
receives the feedback that he's an excellent navigator, but that he sometimes seems a little impatient with
Yeah.
people's decisions. So
Michael Jordan was notoriously a terrible coach. I think when things come to you naturally, it's hard to be patient with others. All right, we're going to jump all over the map here. We're going to do some questions that we've got from Instagram. I put this out through my personal and Backpacker Radios. This one's from our guy Twinkle. He wants to know if you can only do one, the Grand Canyon or Escalante.
for a personal trip,
Yeah.
Grand Canyon. Yeah.
Why?
Just the size. The Escalante is fantastic, but there's so much in Grand Canyon to explore.
There's a reason why some individuals like Harvey Bouchard have been able to dedicate their entire life to the Grand Canyon.
Mhm.
I think it'd be difficult to dedicate your whole life to the Escalante. It's just not
Agreed.
quite as big.
I've never even been to the Grand Canyon, not even like driving through. I've flown over it. That's as good as we've gotten.
You gotta go on a family road trip.
Yeah.
You gotta take the boys.
Yeah. One of these days I'll do rim to rim to rim, but
When I went to the Grand Canyon for the first time, my cat died while we were gone. So that's one of my
saying
memories.
that in front of a cat guy, you're going to make
Yeah.
him cry in the podcast?
And my parents got a motel without AC. It was a really memorable trip. Some things you'll
memories.
never forget.
I'm assuming this is an inside comment joke reference. This is from at F Hall Tree. How many extra food rations does at the string bean smuggle onto each trip?
Oh my
Hashtag
God.
FritoGate.
Oh my God.
Joe is an incredible eater. He will always be just like bargaining for anything extra that anyone will give him.
With the clients.
With the clients, with co-guides, with anybody. Anyone on the street who will give him extra food.
On the other hand, no one ever needs to pack out food.
That's true. Yeah, he'll eat all the leftovers.
I mean, I think he probably has slowed down a little bit because
Maybe.
he's aging a little bit. Like he's still young, but he's not like 26 anymore.
Mhm.
Like he will go out on like a 3-day trip with like a 10-pound bag of like sesame seeds, and the whole bag would be gone after 3 days. And that was not everything he ate. Like he would do double breakfast rations and double
Double
dinners.
everything.
Like it's something.
He's got to be macrodosing some nutrient
I-
that's not good for
yeah.
you. I one time ate too many pine nuts and my mouth tasted like metal for a week afterward.
wow.
Like I'm worried if I eat that many sesame seeds, like my eyes are going to turn green or something. This is probably a bigger conversation. This is from our guy at austin.mc. McDaniel, can you talk about vapor barrier layers for cold weather backpacking, vapor barrier liners and clothes?
Oh boy, how much time do you have? Yeah, so it's like kind of a misunderstood technology. You know, in 3-season conditions, we tend to talk a lot about breathability and the importance of breathability. So when you're sweating or like perspiring, that moisture is able to move through all your layers and evaporate into the atmosphere. But in the wintertime, what happens is that two things happen when you perspire in the wintertime. So first is that as the moisture moves through your layers, it hits the dew point inside your layers. So if it's like, say, 0 out and your body heat is, say, you're like the outside of your skin is, say, 80, and the dew point is going to be somewhere in your layers. So the moisture moves towards the outside of your garments and it hits the dew point, it becomes moisture and like actually like starts wetting your layers. So it doesn't do what it does in the summertime or the 3-season conditions where it gets the outside and then evaporates. So of course wetter layers don't insulate as well, and you also need more thermal energy to now keep that moisture warm too. So that's one thing that's happening. The other thing that's happening is that as you perspire, you are losing energy. So like you're losing, like heat is being like pulled away from you. That's why you perspire, is to like get that energy or to get that heat away from your body. But both those things are a bad thing in the wintertime. So vapor barrier liners are non-breathable layers. Basically, it's like imagine like a like a shell jacket and a pair of shell pants and shell gloves made out of Cuban fiber or silicone impregnated nylon, and you have a liner fabric, so like something kind of thin, like just your standard like lightweight, maybe midweight shirt and pants, and then you have your vapor barrier liner clothing, and then you have your layers outside of that. So basically at this point now the moisture doesn't move into your outer layers because it gets stuck on the inside of that vapor barrier liner, and you don't lose as much heat from sweating, and you would actually be, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, so you just become like the biodome inside of this vapor barrier technology, but you become very aware of your perspiration, and you're able to easily adjust things. So like it's very easily, like you can imagine if you're wearing vapor barrier liner gloves, this is the easiest one. If you're wearing vapor barrier liner gloves, you can very easily feel the moisture accumulating inside your glove. So you just take off your gloves, and like for me, I would just like clip them onto a carabiner on a shoulder strap and just keep my gloves here and like let my hands air out. And then when I felt like they had like aired out or were cooling down too much, I would put my vapor barrier liner mitts back on. And same thing goes with like a jacket. It's like a jacket, you would have like a full zip, and you would have arm zips and pit zips, and that way you could like ventilate if you were too much moisture was accumulating.
What are some good places that do this?
I would have to
Brands or
look to
items?
see what like the current state of the market is. RBH Designs is one company that for many years has produced good vapor barrier liner clothing. Yeah, they're, in my mind, they have the best winter gloves on the market. Yeah.
Do you wear this stuff when you go out there? Or
Been a while since I needed to wear vapor barrier liner clothing, but certainly on any kind of like deep winter backpacking trip.
So you believe in the science?
Yeah, I think I don't think it's overstated. I think it works really well.
Cool.
Yeah, because I've also had the opposite experience where I didn't have it, and I'm like this is bad. Like you could imagine, just go on like a 5-day winter backpacking trip where it's consistently, say like during the daytime it never gets out of the teens, and at night you're looking at like temperatures like around 0, sometimes below. Like you don't have the opportunity to dry anything out over the course of 5 days. Like you're sleeping in a sleeping bag, and all that moisture is moving into your sleeping bag at night. By the end of a 5-day trip, like your sleeping bag is soaked. Soaked.
So you're just trying to minimize the amount of perspiration through this. Okay.
Yeah.
We've got a bidet question, of course. This is from at hiker_bites. It's not as bad as you're expecting. Has Skurka ever tried the Holy Hiker bidet? That thing makes loose stones and leaves irrelevant.
Are these some kind of attachment, I assume?
This is a specific product. I looked it up. It's on Garage Grown Gear.
Do you put it on like the end of the water bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up here.
I have you ever used any of these?
I haven't used the attachments.
Yeah.
No.
We have bidet. Yeah, right. Yeah. So we have bidets on our toilets at home, and that is a no-touch experience. I mean, but it also will give you an enema. Okay, so like
switch out coffee in there.
I remember when I installed it, I installed one on Amanda's toilet, and she was in this she had like a kind of a powder room toilet sort of scenario where there's a toilet on one side and there's a standing shower on the other. And I installed it, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna like see how this how much pressure we're looking at here. So I open up the shower door and I turn it on, and the bidet shot all the way across the bathroom and was like still on its way up when I hit the opposite wall. So I was like, oh my god,
It's a fire hose.
So
it's for pleasure.
I'm just not convinced that you could get like the pressure you need to get a really good clean back there with just an attachment.
Yeah.
So, but if that's what works for you and you're not interested in touching your butthole out in the wilderness, like I'd say by all means, because you still get all the benefits, right? You smell less, you itch less, and you'll chafe less if you're giving yourself basically a shower clean every time you poop.
Are you on Team Bidet?
I am. I've been converted.
Yeah.
It's
Do
true.
you use your hand?
I do.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, and then
She's not going to tell you which one, though.
I gave her a hug too when she got here.
You knew. Yeah, and then multiple washes afterwards. It does feel like you've had a shower every morning that you've been out.
Is that company requirement?
It's not a company requirement, but if you're going to teach about it to be an integrity, I think that you should at least try it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guides to say that they've been resistant to it when they came on board, and then they're like, actually, it's quite great. They become converts.
Are you a convert?
I am, yeah.
Oh.
This is the requisite question. This is from @hikesandcakes. It's an extra E. I don't know if that's a typo. Probably a typo. For Andrew, how many cats until you're a crazy cat dude?
Oh, man. Well, if it were up to Amanda, she'd have more. But we have our oldest, Esmeralda, is quite the queen, and I don't think she would tolerate another cat in the house.
How many are you up to?
We have 2.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
That's a reasonable
But, like,
amount
it
of
was...
cats.
Like, me and I, we were just talking about this the other day. Like, what we went through to even have 2, like, we wouldn't want to go through again. Like, it was a year and a half, like 2 years of, like, keeping them in different rooms, of, like, we would go on walks at night, and, like, we would like have, like, serious conversations about whether she would kill him if she had a chance.
Come back, the house is on fire.
So I remember once I was holding him in my arms. I had him up on my shoulder, and she came out of her room. She, like, woke up and came out, and, like, oh shoot, and she climbed up me like Spider Woman, like, to get after him, like, literally climbed up me.
I thought you were talking about Amanda was going to kill the cat.
No.
You were talking about the other cat.
Esmeralda.
Got it.
Yeah. Who's our beautiful all black feline queen.
I like the questions that until you're a crazy cat dad. I feel like cat dads, it's like crazy. It's more of a way of being.
Yeah.
I don't know that the cat number
In
actually.
essence.
Yes, in
Yeah.
essence.
Yeah.
Though I do think that there is a certain number where you can't deny that you're a crazy cat person. Like, you can't be
Yeah.
like, I'm not that big of a cat person, but I have 12
Yeah.
cats.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
you're a cat person.
I told Garrett I want 5 or 6, but I want to name them all after pastas.
5 or
So
6. You want 5 or 6 cats?
Yeah, I want,
I
like,
think that can just get tough.
Rigatoni, a.k.a. Tony.
Mhm.
Nice.
You can have Penne.
Yeah.
You can have Farfalle. He'd
Mhm.
be a cool one. I've got all the names. I like to tell him about it every now and then. He doesn't like it. He doesn't want any cats.
Remember, cats kind of are solitary unless you find it a bonded pair. Like, they're solitary creatures, and they're not pack animals like dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know how other people do it. They must. I mean, yeah.
In my mind, the way it works is you find a litter. You take the
Great.
whole litter.
Yes. Sure.
And you show up with
just
them at
take the
home and you say,
whole
hey, honey,
litter.
guess what I did?
I have the whole litter. I
accomplished
found
our
them all in a
dream.
box on the side of the
Every
road.
pasta you might want.
Yeah.
So,
That would be the way to do it.
yeah, if the opportunity
Mhm.
ever presents
That'd be the way
itself.
to do it.
And I didn't write down who asked this one, but this one's for Katie. How does Katie like using an alcohol stove on trail, and how was the Great Basin Trail?
I love using an alcohol stove very much. I like that it's quiet. That's one thing that's very noticeable
Oh
when
my
you're in a
God.
group, when you have canisters and alcohol stoves. What?
It's a good sound.
Oh.
It's like really accurate.
I love how calming nature is.
Yes.
So yes, I love the alcohol stove. I use a Toke stove. I've had the same one for, over 10 years at least. And the Great Basin Trail was awesome. It was great being out there with Dirtmonger, who put the route together because he knew what he was thinking about when he put it all together, and he had ties to many of those places, and he's just fun to hike with. So
Who's a faster hiker between Andrew and Dirtmonger?
oh gosh,
Dirt's taller, yeah?
I think he's taller. Yeah,
That's a big guy.
yeah, he's big. Yep. I don't think I've ever hiked with Andrew when Andrew's been at his like personal trip pace.
Uh-huh.
We've only ever guided together. So
Have you hiked with Dirt?
hard to say.
No.
I don't think I'm a real fast hiker.
I have a story.
Yeah.
I think after the last interview, we did like a quick catch up walking along Clear
Yeah.
Creek.
Oh, is that?
And that was the fastest I've ever walked the creek, just trying to keep up with you. I remember at one point being like, do I have to pretend like I'm not out of breath right now? We were looking at like 3.7 miles per hour while
Oh my
walking the
gosh.
creek. So yeah, I would say, and that was definitely your relaxed pace. So I would venture to guess you're a fast hiker.
I don't know. I mean, I do okay, but I don't think Like I think I've hiked with some people, or especially I find is the young guys. Like I just don't have the explosiveness that I used to have. At 44, you just don't have that pop.
Yeah.
Which is something that we actually notice with our older clients. They just kind of lack that, like just pure horsepower, strength, brute force kind of thing.
You'll notice it on the uphills.
Yeah. Versus
and
the
then
gray pubes, and then all of a sudden
right.
the pep in the step is gone.
Right. Yeah.
I had a question, and now that is escaping me.
They're white, by the way.
Give me the biggest differences between hiking with dirt and Andrew.
Oh boy. Gosh. Dirt just makes so many crude jokes. Like not offensive, but he just there's no filter.
Did you discuss the clown mouth?
Yeah.
Oh, always. Yeah. I listened to that interview that you
Okay.
guys did with him, and I was like, yep, that was him just like on level 10.
Yeah.
That's how he is all
Yeah.
the time.
That was a great interview.
Are you aware of the clown mouth?
Doesn't sound like I'd repeat it if I was.
Yeah. And I would say Andrew's very analytical. Yeah, I mean, you can see it in the website, in the spreadsheet, in the way he runs the business. That's like a plan, but he's also very adaptable in the field, as is Dirtmonger, but just two very different people.
What's the most surprising thing that you keep in a spreadsheet that you might be embarrassed to share with a general audience? Like, are you tracking the number of bowel movements per day? Or like, what's some
No.
obscure thing that you're like, probably shouldn't be counting this, but I am?
I was so to bring the conversation full circle. I once had a spreadsheet where I was tracking Esmeralda and Luxor's body weight. So
Tell them how you know.
because we have a litter robot. So the litter robot, every time they go into the litter robot, they get their weight gets recorded, and you can download the data.
What are you supposed to do with this? And like,
Well,
just
we're
know how
trying to
much
get them to
feed
lose weight.
Yeah.
We're trying to get them, but they're impossible. They're very well. It's not impossible. We've made some progress with both of them, but yeah. So I was downloading the data, and I dropped it into a spreadsheet, created some nice looking charts, and I just put a trend line in there. And I told Amanda at one point, I was like, "Listen, I think by like October we could get Luxor down to about 17.4." Just big.
That's a big cat.
Oh, he's big.
That's a 17.4.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
How much
when
is
we
Esme?
Esmeralda's, she's like 12 and a half. So yeah, we had
That's
two,
more what I think
two
of a
big
cat.
cats. Well,
12
our
pounds
old
is a
guy,
cat.
he was like 9, Odin. So yeah, Luxor, he was big when we got him. He was 14 pounds. And then we had never had a cat that didn't free feed before. So we just would like leave food out for him, and he just would demolish it. And we're like, all right, well, I guess he's young. I guess he's kind of a bigger body type. He's begging for more food. I guess we'll give him. And like 2 months goes by, and we're like, he looks kind of chubby. And then at one point he hit 20, and then we're like, this can't. Like, and you could he'd be like in the morning. He's got a really sunny spot in the living room in the morning, and he's like sprawled out across the baseboard on his blanket with the sun beating down on him, and you can hear him going. I'm like, Amanda, diet
hibernation.
starts today.
Do you feed them dry food? Probably not. Looking at you. Yeah. So my recommendation would go out the window. I have an automated food timer that we use for Harper after the vet told me she was too fat.
Yeah.
And it works great because then no emotion goes into the pour.
The automated feeders are great for that. We have one that is capable of wet food, and for the same reason.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like if we separate if he stops associating us with the food, then we can have our own relationship instead of like.
Yes.
Whereas Amanda, like regularly, Amanda will come home. She usually like comes home at noon, and like Luxor will like emerge from wherever he's been, and he's like, "Okay, lunchtime, mom's home," and she'll look at him. She goes, like I think if I didn't feed you, you would not give two shits about me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think the only downside about the automated feeder is like we catch Harper like praying to it. Like it's like, where's Harper? We go upstairs and she's just like intently staring at it like
Yeah.
I'm giving you attention.
When is it gonna open?
Come on, give me attention back.
This is your Aussie.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Who can also tell time. Like she gets fed at 7 a.m. and she gets fed at 5:30 p.m. And she gets out of bed at 6:55 and goes and sits and does her morning prayer. And then no matter what we're doing at 5:25, 5:26, like she starts to get off the couch and like she'll run upstairs. I'm like, where's she going? And I'll check the clock. It's 5:28. Like, how the fuck did she know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're more senses than you think they have.
Crazy.
Dogs
Yeah.
are very
Automated
smart
feeders.
when it comes to getting what they want.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know, because the process of you getting just flooded with applications and then trying to place people in the right trips, has AI been a huge benefit to you in terms of like sorting through all that data and trying to match people? Or is that something that you're worried that it's not going to do as particular of a job as you need?
We have not experimented with it for that application yet. We've talked about it in other ways that we can use it in the business, but I think we actually haven't had a conversation about this yet, about using AI for the applications. My initial reaction, and maybe that's just like the controlling part of me, is that it would miss some of the nuances that help us fine tune, like be able to fine tune groups really well and really sort, because sometimes it'll be things the application's pretty extensive, and when you read through the whole thing, you will pick up things just in the way that people talk about themselves, their life story, the past trips that they've done, that are more than just reading the numbers about they did this trip with this many days with this elevation gain and loss, where it will help us to place them, even if it's the difference between like a median group that's on the higher end and a median group that's on the lower end. You will be able to pick up some of those things throughout reading a whole application.
Offer the audience something specific, because I think it's like it's let them into the black box, because it's an art.
Yeah.
Like the way that we do this.
Yeah, like in like fitness sorting like that.
Yeah, like give an example of like someone like just they say a couple of words or a line or a piece of information you might pick up on that AI probably wouldn't.
Yeah, it may be something that they talked about a trip they did, but they said they were a little bit sick during that trip, and so I think I would be able to pick up on like, oh, maybe these numbers didn't actually indicate their actual ability. And so when they rated themselves lower than what they actually are capable of, I think seeing the whole context of the picture together would allow me to say, oh, actually, I think they belong in this fitness group versus this lower one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are others too. Like we notice women tend to sandbag and men tend to overstate. With older clients, we have noticed that it's really important to know what they've done very recently. Not just like what they did 10 years ago. So for example, like someone who's in their late 60s applies, it's like, well, what you did in your late 50s is great, but like we really wanted some data from like the last 2-3 years, because it's just like a pretty steep curve in the 60s, it seems. Yeah.
I got to imagine the time commitment to parsing through all the application data and matching people to the appropriate group is very time consuming.
Yeah, it's Katie's December.
I was actually stressed out about being here today because I knew there were applications coming in that are just like building up in our inbox right now.
It'd be interesting to just give whatever tool ChatGPT say, like your criteria being like on a scale from 1 to 10 being like matching people by hiking fitness, then age, then I mean, obviously you could do anything, and giving it like basically an algorithm to kind of guide it in the proper direction as like a first pass, and then just kind of like parse through that to see how well the job it did matching.
I think you could probably do a first pass on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't think it could do the.
I agree. I think at the end of the day, you
yeah.
still need the dentist to come in to look at the tooth. Yeah.
And even if it could, Katie's not going anywhere if I have anything to do with it. So
I don't think it's. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be tons of jobs that are replaced by AI, but I feel like again, it's just like a tool to make things more expedient. This is a fun one. We got an email many moons ago from someone who prefers to remain anonymous, who just had a slew of very particular backpacking questions that's just been sitting in our archive for a long time. So I'm going to go through and ask some of these for you guys. Okay, this is about food storage. I would love to hear more about campsite setup. Sure, the food goes into bear safe places, but what about the backpack itself? Shoes and clothes. Does that go into the vestibule or far away under a rock on a tree? What if your food spilled in your backpack or you spilled on your clothes? How much of a spill counts? How much time needs to pass beyond the spillage to not have to worry about critters larger and smaller than yourself? So
this is the person who keeps spreadsheets.
Yeah, you don't have to answer every question in particular, but I guess just kind of like walk us through Like everyone knows that, let's say you're in grizzly territory, you don't want anything that has smell or odor in your tent with you. Like, how far do you take that? Like, where's your cutoff? I assume sweaty clothes you're not going to be storing, but like toothpaste probably is on the other end of that. So like, what are some of the finer points that are getting divided?
I'm probably more cavalier than most. I think a lot of the recommendations that around food storage are not really based on any data. It's more like intuition or like mind reading of an animal that not too many people really understand. I think it's weird to say on one hand, like, oh, black bears, they have, their sense of smell is 80 times better than a bloodhound. And then in the next sentence say, well, so it's imperative that you put your chapstick in the bear hang because you don't want the bear to think that it's food. You're like, no, the bear knows that it's chapstick and knows that you only have 5 grams of it left. But context matters. I think, are you in a group? Are you, how big of a group? Is it a 3-person group or is it a 5-person group? Because even that makes a big difference. Are you in grizzly bear habitat in Yellowstone National Park, or are you down in the Wind River Range? Like, it all matters. Your person has a lot of questions. I almost feel like it sounds to me like they don't have a lot of field experience, and they probably would be well served by just getting out and maybe relieving themselves of some of their fears of the unknown.
I can empathize with the amount of questions, because for me, if I don't understand something, or if I think I get something, I also want to, and this gets so annoying for people. It's like, you'll just tell me something. And I'm like, yeah, but what about this? What about, for my manager, it's fucking annoying because she'll tell me something. And I'm like, well, what about this? Well, what about this? Well, what about this? And she's like, just fucking take what I'm telling you and do it. And it's like, well, in order for my brain to view this as a valid thing to do, I want to almost try to poke holes at it from every angle to make sure it's stable. And it feels like that's what this person's trying to do, is they're trying to take an answer that maybe they've researched and gotten and thought about all of the what ifs around it to make sure that it's sound.
You got to be careful of the what ifs. Are they? I don't think even the premier bear researcher in the world could tell you how many hours need to go by if you happen to spill a little bit of beans and rice on your pant leg until it's safe to sleep in those pants.
Okay, here's a question. If you spilled beans and rice on your pant leg on one of these trips in grizzly areas, are you bringing the pants into the tent with you?
Yeah.
Are you doing anything to try to...
I would walk. If it was a big spill, yeah. But if it was just normal through hike, bad eating technique, probably not. No.
How much would you need to spill on yourself to put the pants outside of the tent?
How many beams?
Count them.
How many grains of rice? 10, 11, 12?
Half a mountain house, a full mountain house. Ooh, that's actually another question. Okay, let's say, I know you're supposed to, if you're in grizzly area, it's nice to eat somewhere differently than where you're sleeping. But let's say you're getting to camp and you're going to eat not next to your tent, but in a different area of camp. And let's say you spill all your food. Do you move camp? I just knocked over my pot. Everything's fucking everywhere. I'm not going to eat that. It's covered in dirt. Do I go somewhere else to camp?
So something that people do in bear country sometimes is the Bermuda Triangle, which maybe you've heard about. So what you're talking about, so you're camping somewhere different from where you're sleeping, somewhere different from where you're storing your food, somewhere different from where you're eating your food. And so the eating of the food should be taking place downwind, and I'm usually pretty far away. So I don't know, let's say 500 feet to 1,000 feet away. And I think for me, the answer to that would depend on if I was in a group or if I was solo. If I was solo, I might consider moving my camp because that's going to be a really big attractant for a bear, and I just don't even want to mess around with it. But if I were camped in a group and our cooking area was that far away and someone did spill some food, which does happen on our group trips almost like not every meal, but like kind of regularly, people will spill something. Try to clean it up as much as you can. But if we're all camped together pretty far away, I would be less concerned about that.
I think this question could spur some interesting conversation. We'd like to hear discussion about the pros and cons of Ursack versus a hard-sided bear can. Is a hard-sided canister really better? And when you have a choice, blah, blah, blah. I picked this one specifically because I feel like the acceptance of Ursack has kind of faded over the last handful of years. Am I correct in picking up on that?
I don't think it's ever been accepted.
Well, actually, so when we did the Teton Crest Trail hike, we brought bear cans, and we found out after we finished that you could take an Ursack instead. That kind of blew our minds.
Yeah, so we... Yeah, I'll just go there. So my thought on this is that if there's a land manager that is allowing Ursacks or allowing food hangs, that probably means they actually don't have a bear problem.
Interesting. So that's to say that Ursacks are definitely less effective than a bear
Definitely
can.
less effective.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you let a bear, just mow on your Ursack all night long, you're not going to have an Ursack left by the morning. They're very well constructed. They're made out of the strongest fiber that exists, but that's not going to be enough for a bear over hours and hours and hours. Yeah. And even if it does survive, your Ursack is going to be covered in bear slobber, and everything that's in there is going to probably be pulverized and gross.
Yeah, everything's liquid at that point. What bear can do you use? Let's say you're in Alaska for a week. What's your go-to?
Well, we're allowed to use Ursacks there.
Okay, so you are.
Oh, we definitely. Oh, when we're allowed to use Ursacks, we're going to use them.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
When you are using a bear can, do you have a go-to?
I use the bear vault, one of the bear vaults.
Okay.
Which I know are heavier than the barricades, but I like being able to see through them, and the price point is pretty attractive. And it's been a long time since I did a trip where bear canisters are required, where I was really counting grams or ounces. Yeah, I think you're in the same boat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Question for both of you. Is there a piece of gear a new piece of gear or a piece of gear that you've tested in the last year that you're especially excited about?
Really?
Let me think.
Nothing?
Let me just think.
Both of us actually, we were sent some HMG shelters 2 years ago. And I'll tell you, a 16-ounce shelter that is storm-worthy, has bug protection and a waterproof floor, and is full side is really attractive. That's tough to beat.
Is this the new semi-freestanding one?
It's the mid.
Okay.
Yeah, which is, in my mind, I wish that instead of being 16 ounces, I wish it were 20 ounces and then 25% bigger. But that's another conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Cuban, the dynamic composite fabric for shelter fabric, it's outstanding.
Got anything, Katie?
Well, the things that came to my mind are nothing that's new or revolutionary. I bought myself a pillow this year for my 40th birthday.
Oh my God.
That's the next thing I'm going to add.
A camping pillow.
How did you decide which
what have
one?
you been using, your dirty shoes or your
A stuff
trash?
sack,
Oh
just
my
with extra
I don't
clothes.
use a pillow.
Yeah.
With extra clothes?
Yeah.
Okay.
What pillow did you settle on?
Oh gosh, Trekology. It was just I didn't do a lot of research.
Okay.
What should I have?
I don't know. I don't have a pillow.
Yeah.
I'm pillow curious, and
Mhm.
I'm someone who needs to research every option and ask all these fucking questions that this guy asked to make sure that I'm getting the right one.
Something in the 2.5 ounce range is nice.
Yeah.
It's not too big, not too small.
But they've got different feels.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
How you can't test them
I have a
all.
Sea to Summit one that has a nice fleecy side
I
with
think
some
that's the most
down in it.
popular of the inflatables.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I probably will ask this one every time you come on. How far away are we until we're just using our smartphones as the satellite communicator? It feels like we're getting way closer.
Yeah, it does seem that way. I don't know as much about the tech as probably other people, but yeah, this was an interesting conversation I had at the beginning of last season. I remember I was listening to a podcast on the way out to Utah, and it was, I think it must have been about the origins of the Wilderness Act. And what prompted some of that was this recognition that our wilderness was disappearing. Like this thing that was an infinite supply that no one ever could have imagined running out of. It was actually like we were running out of it. And it got me thinking that in like the current version of that is places you can go without connectivity. And if with your smartphone you can have a data feed on that really changes the game. I mean, like that you from anywhere you could be scrolling. Like, sounds awful.
Yeah,
Sounds
it seems
awful.
like
So I wonder if like it almost seems like the equivalent effort would be creating connection dead zones where like it's like these areas are off limits even to satellite feeds.
That'd be cool.
it'd be sweet if there was some sort of technology where you could like it emits within a certain radius. It's just going to kill someone's cell phone. I know that's probably so illegal, but for like your case about like not allowing people to have their phones for that exact reason. Because like if you go to like Comedy Works, they put your phones in like those bags that you can't access. Like the wilderness version of that, just to save people from themselves, like experience what it's like to not be connected for a handful of days.
My high school science teacher, like, that was his patent pending. He was like, we're going to have a device and we're going to put it on the desk and we're going to push the button and no one's phone's going to work in this radius. And I was always like, oh shit, that's going to happen soon. Still hasn't happened. But I do like getting out on a trail when you like realize you don't have any reception or you're expecting not to have reception and you don't have it and it's great, versus when you expect to not have reception and then you turn on your phone just to check, you know, you're just like, I'll just to see. And then all of a sudden you have reception. It's like, oh shit, I have reception. There's a part that's also sad where it's like, oh fuck, I have reception. Like, now I know I'm going to want to check my stuff. I know I'm going to want to like sneakily turn off airplane mode one more time throughout the day to see if it's there. I kind of like just knowing you're not going to have it.
So to that question, for either of you, will you avoid getting whatever like Starlink phone to force yourself to, like, would you then just opt into like a Garmin InReach because you know that doesn't have the same technological feature set as a smartphone?
I think I will avoid it if I can. Yeah, definitely. Because it would be nice not to even have the temptation to try to check. Because then if I have the service, then I'm going to want to, like you said, do work of some sort, check my emails or do something.
Watch
and
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it feels
Don't knock that. Don't knock that. I watched the last 2 seasons on Trail.
It feels like
live time.
That's impressive.
No, it was fucking great. You finish first.
No, it feels like for me a mental drag on my attention that I don't want to have to deal with.
Yeah. If you watch Game of Thrones when it's airing, like it's not a rewatch, it's coming out Sunday nights and you are on a through hike. It was 2017 and then 2019, so it was PCT and then AT. No better setting to watch that show than in the dark in the woods with just like, you know, nature sounds. Going to sleep after that is crazy. I'll stand by that forever.
I didn't get your answer, Andrew.
Yeah, I don't know. On one hand, like the trip leader in me says like, oh yeah, I'll just take the access. But on the other, it defeats one of the reasons we go out there. So it might be like a professional trip, personal trip kind of thing.
I like this next question.
But I would also add, just because you have access doesn't mean you need to use it.
Easier said than
easy.
done.
Right,
Yeah.
then people have
I
to use
get that.
willpower.
Yeah, just because you put a box of Oreos in front of me doesn't mean I need to eat them.
As a 2 marshmallow kid growing up, I'd be okay.
Define that.
Oh, this is like a famous
The delayed gratification test.
Stanford study where they brought kids in, and I don't remember the exact study, but basically it was like, all right, listen, kid, I'm going to put a marshmallow in front of you and I'm going to walk away. And if I come back and in 10 minutes the marshmallow is still there, I'll give you another marshmallow.
Oh, I'd get so many marshmallows.
So if you're able to like just delay, then you would keep getting marshmallows.
But there's a guarantee of extra marshmallows for the delay.
But then I think they did like a longevity study with these kids, and they concluded that the kids who were able to be patient and like wait for more marshmallows ended up doing better in life versus the ones that wanted the gratification right away.
I would want to redo that study, but test where one time after promising them more marshmallows, you don't give them more marshmallows and see like how quickly
they'll end up in therapy.
How quickly the kids snap.
I also think the analogy is if you've got access to your phone and you don't have the willpower, you're going to use it. Whereas like if you don't use it, then you get the double marshmallow, you get the satisfaction and the peace of mind that comes associated with not just being tethered to your device.
I feel like you also wean yourself off of it a bit more. Like if I'm actively scrolling a lot prior to a hike and then I go on the hike and there's no reception and I come back, it takes a while for me to go back into like
Sure.
the doom scrolling, because you just find other ways to fill your time.
It's also good. That's a great point, I think, to transition into a hike of like slowing your scrolling habits, just whatever dopamine circuit that's just bouncing and needing something every 15 seconds. Like if you can go several hours of the day without checking your phone, I think it's a good way to ease into a backpacking trip.
I'd say that's a very good way to mentally train.
Yeah.
Like get one of those little boxes that people get when they can't not eat sweets that have those little timers on them. Put your phone in it, lock it, set the timer, and then just like squirm, and it'll get less painful.
Yeah.
It's remarkable. I'm listening to you guys talk. Like, it was difficult 10 years ago to like get on the trail, like to like exit normal life and get on the trail, because it's pretty slow out there.
Mm-hmm.
And just to adjust to that slow pace and like slow go, like nowadays, ooh man, rough.
Yeah.
Because
feel like I
the
yearn
pace
for
of life has, like, just daily life, I think, has picked up quite a bit.
For sure.
Yeah.
And
just
we're all getting more
way
addicted to our
way more
phones
stimulation
every day.
nowadays. Yeah.
Another gear question before we shift gears. One category of gear that seems to be kind of buzzy right now, this is how far we've gone in the ultralight world, is water bottles. Obviously, all the fear of like nanoplastics has impacted people's willingness to use like the crushed smart water bottle over and over again. Canuck has the new like more permanent plastic water bottles. I'm curious, what's your guys' take on the water bottle world?
We're gonna see that on Gear List this year, I bet.
Oh, I'm sure.
That'll be the litmus test about how plugged in someone is to YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if it'll be like 50 years from now when you look back and you think about how much people smoke cigs or something. And you're like,
Maybe.
yeah, they smoked 10 packs a day. They just didn't know it was bad. And then people look back and they're like, yeah, can you believe these people would carry 4 smart water bottles for months?
I bet we look at social media more in that way than like how many months consecutively you used a smart water bottle.
Yeah.
That's probably the least bad thing I've done for myself.
I saw a news story recently that Australia is banning
Yeah.
social media for kids.
Yeah. Good
Can
work.
they ban it for adults too?
Yeah. Seriously.
I've had my fill.
But I would like a sincere answer out of the question. Do you guys advocate for what people should bring? Do you just say like whatever you're used to, or is that a consideration?
We don't advocate a specific water bottle. We say you need X carrying capacity,
Got it.
3 to 5 liters or something like that. But it's something we haven't really had to deal with. But I don't think that we would. I don't think we would tell people like which one they needed to bring.
What do you two use?
I'm still just using a
Smart
smart
water.
water bottle, but
Yeah.
I'm not using it for 4 months anymore.
Yeah.
Andrew?
Oh yeah, smart water bottle or whatever an equivalent is.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
The time where it became readily apparent to me that the plastic is definitely leaching into the water is like when you water cache something in the desert and it's just been like baking in the sun. Like it tastes like you're drinking a plastic smoothie or something like that. It's so disgusting.
I've done that with car water bottles.
Yeah.
It's like you're so thirsty on a drive and you find a water bottle that has some water in it.
Yeah.
This one I like. These are all. Are you sure this email is not from me? Because these are all things I've wondered at one point or another. If you emailed this in, thanks. I think these are great. How far away do you need to pee from your campsite? Does human pee attract or repel the critters large and small?
I mean, are you in a group? Are you solo? Is it dark? Is it light? Like, if I'm in a group and it's dark, how far do I go? Not very far at all. And if I'm by myself, I mean, not very far, like right outside my tent.
I stick my ass out.
Yeah.
And
I will like lean out.
in the
just like,
vestibule.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pee is not edible, so it shouldn't be attracting. I mean, it might attract like some of the salt-loving creatures, but that's probably going to be more the established campsites.
You're
Where
not going
the-
to get
where
like
the-
a bear that smells it and thinks this is human equal food.
No.
I think so.
Do you remember on the AT, peed on a bush and like turned back toward the trail,
Yeah,
and then like
it's
I
a
turned
deer
back
chewing on it.
like within seconds. It popped out of nowhere
Yeah.
and was like for me to Katie away. It was like it was not shy at all. It was just looking at me. It was munching on my pea leaves.
Mm-hmm.
This is an interesting question too. I would like to hear more about how you decide when to press the SOS button on your satellite communicator. I'm assuming neither of you have, maybe not. What is the mental checklist to go through? Nobody wants to be the person that hits the SOS button when they run out of water, a quarter mile from the trailhead, or on the flip side, wait too long. Don't press the button until their fingers can no longer move and both their legs are broken. Do you have like a checklist, or like what's your...
I mean, the normal policy would be life or limb.
I would
Right.
say yes, and I would say though
non-ambulatory.
Yeah, if you can't self-evacuate. But what I have heard from a lot of search and rescuers is that they would prefer people not wait too long until it's more of an emergency, versus if you think that it's heading in that direction, an emergency where you can't get yourself out, that at least looping them into the conversation and letting them know, hey, this is going on for me right now. I'm going to try X, Y, Z. But just be on standby if X, Y, and Z don't work for me, that I may need a rescue, and here is my situation, is what I would be thinking about.
That's actually a really great point, because I think there's this impression that, like, okay, you hit the red button and like a helicopter comes or something, or rangers like swoop out of the bushes, but it's a conversation. Like you get dispatched through someone to an emergency provider on the other line, and they're like, hey, Mr. Skurka, what's going on? And you can kind of have a conversation. You can say, well, I have a person in my group with, signs and symptoms of X. And they might say, yep, sounds like a real emergency. We'll work on getting a helicopter out to you. Or it sounds like, well, like, here's what I would recommend doing. Like, keep us posted. So that's actually like a good way to look at it, because to Katie's point, you don't want to wait too long. So you'd be better off kind of teeing them up early. And know that, like, just because you press SOS doesn't mean suddenly you're going to have helicopters coming in.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember which hike it was on, and I feel like I could find it if I went on Zolio. What? Why is that funny?
No, I'm reading another one of these questions, and I can't believe that these came to us. I mean, it's funny because we'll opine on anything. We'll give our very uneducated opinion.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Take me out of this algorithm. Select context later. I agree. No, I don't agree to that one. Where was it that it... There was I can't remember if it was me or Elise or someone entirely different, but there was a hike we were on where there was like a cut or a rash or something that like looked infected. And we weren't sure like how bad is this versus how bad like we thought it was. And we sent a message on one of our SOS devices to like whoever answers them, being like, hey, this is what's going on. Like, what do you think? What should we do? And it wasn't like a, hey, come get us. Like, we were at nowhere near that. But it was just like, hey, like, this is like, it's at the point where we're wondering if we should start to be concerned or what happens if it gets worse. And they messaged back and forth with us and just like gave us good advice on like, hey, monitor it like this, clean it like this, do this to it, and like if it doesn't get better, let us know.
That's great.
And I didn't know you could just chat with them like that until they were like, well, why don't you message, you got one of those, why don't you message them and ask? I was like, oh shit, you could just ask them questions.
Yeah, I think it's good for you and good for them if they can help prevent an emergency too.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll find it. You can take over with your funny question.
Funny question? Oh, that's a different question. I'm going to stick on the topic of gear. So from an apparel standpoint, over the last few years, it seems like the Alpha polartech has been very popular. Any strong takes there?
It's been very popular. That's actually one of my favorite trips. I had a great group a couple of years ago, and one of the guys he had like top to bottom, is it Senshi?
Oh, Senshi.
Senshi.
Yeah.
In banana yellow.
That's amazing. That's very cool.
Trail name Big Bird.
That's great. Have you tested it? Do you have any thoughts?
I'm still old school. I still have a Appalachian Gear Company mid-layer that I love, and I've been backpacking for 25 years. All the gear nowadays is awesome, except for the rain gear. It still sucks.
And how has it shifted now that PFAS is obviously not
I
being.
think it's gotten even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
What about you with the?
I have one, an
fleecy
alpha,
stuff,
an alpha
yeah?
top. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it performs well. I will use it on trips where I really care about weight.
Mm.
Yeah. Otherwise, I also have an Appalachian Gear Co.
Mm-hmm.
top that I find more comfortable.
Yeah.
There's a question on here that I know the answer to. I just don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm looking it up right now. Okay, got it.
Bullion?
So someone asked, are broth cubes a thing? I think it should be, but I don't hear anything about it, so maybe there's a reason why. Dropping them in a meal or even plain water would totally spice things up for such little weight. Whoever wrote this, check out, it's pronounced bouillon cubes, Bouillon. We like use these cooking at my house growing up, but they're little cubes and they're wrapped like a little candy. They come in a jar with all the little cubes wrapped like candies, but it's literally broth. You put it into your soup or whatever you're making and it dissolves and it like makes the brothy taste stronger. So I think you should pack out those. They have chicken, beef, and vegetable.
Good tip.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Mhm.
use those?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Definitely enhances the meal.
Mm-hmm.
What do you put it in?
We use it in several of
Yeah,
our meals.
a
We
lot
have
of them. Mhm.
mushroom bacon oat. It just gives it like a
Mhm.
more full-bodied feel to
Yeah.
it and more depth of flavor.
Mm.
I think
I've
it's
never thought about packing them out until I just read this, and it seems so obvious.
good. Yeah, you could use miso soup powder too. Have a
Mm.
similar effect.
Ah.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily need like a whole cube because that might have more salt than you want. So you could just buy like a some kind of like box of bouillon, like powder.
Yeah. I'm laughing because I like throw like 6 of them into when I'm cooking.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
unwrap them like candy and I just chuck them in. It's like no measurement for them.
This was a fabric material that was put on my radar at Switchback last year, and I don't know if I've seen it actually applied to any like major products or products really at all. Have you heard of a Lula?
No.
No. All right. So cutting edge that it hasn't even entered into the Skurka realm.
What is it?
I think it's a new. It's the DCF killer is basically describing it. But based on the fact
Wouldn't
that
we all like to have that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So all right, that's more speculative at this point. Are you still
I mean,
readily?
it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. Like, how are you gonna unseat DCF? Like, maybe in some applications, but as a shelter fabric, I mean, something that weighs 3/4 of an ounce per square yard, and that is like waterproof enough for Noah's Ark, and that is stronger than any woven nylon. I mean, I guess maybe that'd be awesome, but it seems a little negligible.
Yeah.
I mean, or could you make it? Could you get that performance for like a fraction of the cost?
Mhm.
That would be actually the bigger thing.
I'm looking at their website right now.
Hmm.
Looks cool.
Which one?
Alula.
Oh, you were able to find it?
Yeah, ALUULA.com. Ultralight, water resistant, durable, and weldable. There's nothing weldable.
It smells like smoke.
It does smell like smoke. Every now and then it smells like a fire's burning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
This happened yesterday.
I was told recently that this happens from time to time, that it's somebody smoking cigarettes and it's getting taken into the intake, but this doesn't
No,
smell
it smells like
cigarette.
campfire.
Yeah, this is a
Mhm.
different kind of. This is like
Yeah.
someone's cooking meth or something.
We started Eric's episode and Zach was asking if I was looking off in the space because I was thinking about something. I was like, no, it just smells like fire.
Mhm.
It smells like we're burning.
Not to get too concerned, but do you have smoke detectors in this office?
No.
No. Or windows. So
Great.
Yeah, I'd be more concerned if this didn't happen routinely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Though
I got concerned
that is
the
the boy
first
that
time.
cried wolf scenario right there. Is eventually it's going to be a fire.
the first time I like looked in the rooms because I was like, something's on fire somewhere.
Yeah, no, this happens often.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about what do we need to know about the upcoming guiding season? Now, this will come out. What do we have on date? January 19th. Can people still apply?
People can definitely still apply, and historically, if someone applies in January, and if they're willing to be patient and flexible, we almost always can find them a spot. But this year, I mean, Applications are pretty strong so far. So
And we've done an
Yeah.
intentional downsizing for the coming year.
yeah,
Oh, interesting.
So
Why?
spots are fewer.
Why is that?
because someone would like to have a summer vacation.
Someone named Andrew. Yes.
Mm. Yeah, I mean so yeah, like I have been going hard for a long time now, and it's as anyone who remembers the episode with Amanda, like that has taken a toll, and like I mean, and I'm just kind of tired too, like working all like I don't have a summer.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice just so we're not running trips this year, or we're just running one trip in September this year instead of the usual 16, 17.
Yep.
So we have fewer spots this year than we have had in the past. I don't know if that's going to be like a new normal, or if this is just like a kind of like a one-off 1 year before we get back to our more like historical schedule.
Yeah. There's got to be a way that we can replicate Andrew Skurka so the business can thrive and you can go take 2 summer vacations.
Yeah,
We
I mean,
need
I
more
think
Katie Gerbers.
that's one of the things too about owning a small business. Like I don't have any investors, so I get to decide like how big and thus how like profitable it is, and
Yeah.
I can make a lifestyle decision. Yeah.
Are there routes that you're burnt out on after that much time where you're like, we can run this trip, but I'm not fucking going on it?
No, guiding. I think being in the field for both of us, guiding is the most fun part of the job.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would give up everything else I do before I gave up guiding.
Yeah.
I think what helps with that is that we don't do the same set route ever. We don't like always do the same 5-day High Sierra route or the same Yellowstone route or anything like that. We will operate, of course, in similar areas to where we've been before, but it's going to be different with every group because your group will have a different fitness level. They might have different interests. So I don't think I've ever repeated the same exact route from year to year. So it still feels a little bit exploratory each time, which is nice.
Mm. Where does an Andrew Skurka go on vacation? I picture you're just going to go out backpacking, drag Amanda out somewhere super remote.
No.
His backyard with a lawn chair.
Yeah. I mean, no, that would be part of it. I'd love to spend some time at home in the summer too.
Watch the birds.
Yeah, watch the birds, watch my tomatoes grow.
So you haven't picked out what the vacation's going to be. Just
Know
that you want some time.
Yeah, it's pretty far out still.
Yeah.
'Cause we have some things to get through before we get there. But yeah, I think actually one of the things I would like to do, I'd like to load Amanda up in the van and take her up to Yellowstone, where she's never been before. So it'll be nice just to be like a tourist in a park I've gotten to know pretty well.
Yeah. Can you just sit on a beach for 3 days with a...
It's not a great look.
You don't strike me as the guy that could just hang out. You'd be
No.
like, I bet I
Yeah.
could swim to that island over there.
Yeah, I'm probably more adaptable than most people would think. Like I think I years ago definitely would have struggled a little bit more to sit at a beach, but like everyone needs just a good solid break too though. Like I mean I would love to I've gotten into woodworking a little bit recently.
Really?
I built a shed this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would love just a week just to like build built-ins in my house. Yeah.
Andrew, I feel like we can get to the point where we delegate all of the non-guiding at least to a significant extent, so you can live this life.
Yeah.
Go out, guide
Getting there.
people. Yeah.
Getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else that we should? Are you still doing the scholarship?
We have decided. I don't think we're
I don't think this year.
not as a formalized program.
Okay.
It's been, yeah. We had an interest. Like, I think the scholarship program was challenging.
Mhm.
I mean, you were kind of in charge of reviewing the applications. What were the themes that we like? What led to like the dissatisfaction and the decision not to?
I think we struggled to find like genuine need for it, and to like find applicants who both had the genuine need and also were committed to the process of going through, because we do have a kind of extensive planning curriculum that people go through beforehand, and then to commit to actually taking the time to go on the trip. There's sometimes wasn't like the amount of commitment.
Yeah. I've heard that from like the entertainment industry, is when you give like tickets to say like a stand-up comedy show or whatever for free, that they're not invested in the show and they're more likely to be talking. Like if maybe there's like a skin in the game factor, and I realize that there's a percentage of the population that just isn't financially capable of being there. But
Yeah, that was part of it. I feel like for the applicants that we found, it was like at the sort of to have a financial need, like there probably are other things going on in life that are getting in the way of like you being able to get away for
sure,
up to like a week ish.
Right. Yeah.
And we were even able, like it was a very discounted spot. We had alumni who were willing to pitch in on gear or like travel stipends. So like we were able to remove the barriers to entry, but it still seemed like there were other obstacles in life that we could not fix. So so at least for this year, it's not something that we're formally offering.
Yeah. Are you looking for guides or anything? Is there anything else that people should listen to this should know?
If we're hiring guides, it'll probably be January, and it'll be up on the website, social media. Yep.
Cool. We do have a sponsor question. We'll wrap with this. This is the Peak Performance question brought to you by Topo Athletic. Use code TREKWINTER 15 for 15% off at topoathletic.com. You guys both have to answer this one. What is your top performance enhancing or backpacking hack? Something non-conventional. So we just talked about bouillon cubes. That would have been a good example, but we already burnt that. But something that your average hiker or backpacker wouldn't know about that you feel like levels up your game.
Caffeine pills.
Stop. I did that last time. That was mine last time. We just said that on like 2 episodes back.
I've even been known to distribute them to the group. We put them in the first aid kit.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Do you go to, are you using like guarana or?
I think just, whatever is at like Walgreens.
Yeah.
You're crushing them into the rice and beans.
Yeah. But, I could just see the group dragging, and I'm like, well, like, guys, we still have one more pass to go. Who wants a little hit of caffeine?
Yeah.
And like you see they come around and like handing out drugs.
This is such perfect timing because I sounded like a crackhead when I brought that up, and now I've been co-signed by Skurka.
Quick, funny little story. So back in my thru hiker days, when it was like 35, 40 miles a day in, day out, I would get going. I would wake up at 5:45. I'm walking by 6, and I would try to do 9 by 9. 12 by 10, and I would try to do 20 by 1. That's kind of what my 20 miles by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I would take a 15-minute cat nap in the middle of the day. And before I even took the cat nap, I would take a caffeine pill. So that way, when I woke up, I was like, "Wah!" and like go crush the afternoon.
Apparently, they make caffeine spray now.
I
won't say the name, but Zach's got it in his office.
You can say the name.
I don't know the name.
I would say the name, but I don't remember it.
I don't know the name.
It's like a mouth spray?
Yeah, it looks like a push pop.
Yeah, okay.
But apparently it's a
like
spray.
a Banaka, yeah. What about you, Katie?
Gosh, mine is a similar idea, but much less intense. It's like getting as good of sleep as I can and using different supplements to do that, like magnesium, L-theanine, ashwagandha. Like I have a little Ziploc with like white powders mixed together that I'll take right before bed. So similar, but like the more wholesome.
So on brand.
I know.
Both of those
I was
answers.
thinking that too. I was like, yeah.
Do you have a particular magnesium that you recommend? Or are you using like L-threonate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or glycinate.
Yeah.
Damn, Zach knows what he's talking about.
Zach's
He's on top of it.
Anytime there's a health trend, Zach is into it.
I listen to a lot of podcasts.
He's tried every supplement.
Shout out Huberman Lab.
Yep.
Okay, wait, no question. What's your most recent?
Oh God.
I
do
fill in the
remember
blanks.
when we were at PCT Trail Days, I showed you like the 2 hands of pills that I was taking. At that point, I was doing creatine in pill form, so you have to take a lot of pills to get even like a semi-significant dose. But creatine is kind of the buzzword right now. I've been playing with larger doses, like up to 20 grams per day, which is a lot.
That's
like
a lot.
The bodybuilding world is typically at 5 grams, so
you're doing 20?
Yeah.
For what purpose?
Well, look at him.
Yeah, but what is it like? What are you trying to achieve?
So there's a lot of
Data of the year.
There's apparently good science to support that it can offset a lot of the negative impacts of sleep deprivation. So they have people that are sleep deprived either take cognitive tests with 20 and without 20 grams of creatine, and like the 20 gram group blows it out of the water. And there's now speculation that it might have some preventative effects for Alzheimer's, so that runs in my family.
So what's been your anecdotal experience with it? Do you notice a difference?
As an N of 1, I'm obviously very prone to a placebo effect, but I do feel like the days where I don't sleep well, which thank God that's rare nowadays, kids are sleeping well, it definitely feels like there's a difference. That being said, I would not advocate to take all 20 grams at once because disaster pants will ensue. I've had that happen.
Disaster pants?
It's you're just
It's like it sounds.
yeah. You don't trust farts. When you get 20 grams of creatine pumping through you. But that's been a fun one for me. Okay. What about you, Katie? Any new supplements?
I've also been doing creatine lately.
Yeah.
Yep, that's been great. NAC, N-acetylcysteine, which is like not new, but I've been after I finished guiding this year, I had a lot of personal travel, a lot of guiding, and I felt really burnt out. So I've just been doing some like mitochondrial support stuff. I started some new probiotics that I hadn't been taking over the summer, but creatine's probably a new one for me too. Yeah, newish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
But not at 20 grams a day.
Yeah.
More in like the 5 to 10 zone.
If you get a bad night's sleep, give it
Yeah.
a shot. Like
Okay.
it makes a difference
All
for
right.
sure. Anything else? We can wrap it there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having
Thanks,
us.
guys. Really good to catch up. Katie's been too long.
Yeah.
Andrew, always good to have you back. To the Trek propaganda portion of today's show, I'm going to feature a couple that are actually not on the show notes. The first one is from Katie Jackson, of course. Katie and I are maybe working on a fun project that will be unveiled in 2026.
Ooh.
Little spoiler. Colorado Trail versus John Muir Trail versus Long Trail. Which trail is best? Katie has hiked all three, most recently the Long Trail, and she does a deep dive comparison of all three trails, obviously, but she does give her consensus in terms of which one is just objectively the best, in her opinion. I guess subjective. So you'll have to click on that one to get it. The answer may surprise you. It was not the one that I would have guessed.
Really? I feel like I can maybe guess.
You want to guess?
No, I don't want to guess.
Okay.
I'll click
You
the
can
link
prob-
to find out.
You can probably guess which one it's not.
I'll leave it mysterious.
Okay. And the other one is, this is very just go check it out because there's no way to relay it via a podcast. But I think we might have featured the first one in a Trek propaganda. I can't remember. But this is 25 more stunning through hiking inspired tattoos. Did we do the first?
I don't know if you we
Because remember,
can't
Jess
remember if it
told
was
you
on
that
air or not. That my tattoo was on it. I don't remember if we talked about that on air.
I don't remember either. But
either way, cool. I love looking at other people's
Yeah,
tattoos,
no.
especially when it's trail related.
And if you've through hiked and you want some inspiration, this is a good place to be like, yeah, I like the way that tree looks, or this one looks like they got caught in a thorn bush.
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like the ones where it's the. I mean, I'm biased because I've got the trail,
yeah,
but I like the one that's the trail outline.
yeah. So go and check that out if you like tattoos. You'll love this. Question of the day. This is yours.
Yes, this is a photo I saw online, and it feels genius, but it also feels like the person that does this in a shelter. And this is a photo of someone at the airport, and they are waiting like where the seats are by the gate, and forever how long they would have to wait for their flight. And they set up their tent, and they're just lounging inside the tent. The door is open for the photo because I guess probably their friend took the picture. But is it cringe or genius to set up your tent in the airport? And I ask that as someone who has slept in airports like overnight for delayed flights or just because of the timing. I've slept in airports in other countries and other continents, and like you loop your backpack through your arms when you're go to sleep so no one can take it, and you face the pockets towards you so no one can unzip it while you're asleep, and you never actually get good sleep because you're always kind of worried about like my stuff while I'm sleeping. All of that's solved if you set up your tent and you throw all your shit in it and you just like lay there. And there's plenty of room in an airport to do that. Is it genius to do this, or is it cringy?
And the photo example given is very douchey. He's like in the area where all the seats are. It looks like people would have to like squeeze around his tent to get to the open chairs. So in this specific example, I definitely think it's cringy, douchey. If there was a part of the airport where it's just like open space and you're not interfering with other people, I think I take less issue with it. But also at a certain point, like if the airport's turning into a campground, I don't know if that's the aesthetic that the airport wants.
Yeah, like one of my questions was, how hasn't someone told them to take that down?
Yeah.
But then my other question is, on what grounds?
I'm sure there's some sort of rule.
I just think if he was tucked in a corner with that would be so clever. But again, if you were to see 20 tents in an airport, like now we're looking a little sketcheroo.
But I also have slept at airports, and it is that you have to be very desperate for sleep to actually fall asleep in an airport.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah.
You tell us.
Good stuff. This is the Triple Crown of winter drinks. We're past the holiday season, but we're still full-fledged winter.
Yes. The winter does not end when December ends, which is a hard pill I have to swallow every January.
Yeah.
I'm always like, okay, cool, bring on spring. And where we live, it gets worse. Like December weather it was 55 today. I didn't bring a coat.
Yeah. I would say objectively February is the most depressing month of the year. It's the shortest and the longest.
Yeah, because you start to get really cold weather in January, and then you're over it. And by the time you're over it, it's February, and then it's like, hey, we're also going to be really cold, and here's more snow.
Yeah.
And then March comes, and it's like, oh, you thought we were done?
I think at the point that you move to New York, I'll probably move somewhere warm because I don't know if I can do winter for the rest of my life.
Really?
I'm already a snowbird.
I don't know why you think I would move to New York. It is way too cold there.
I thought for other reasons.
No, I'm pretty content on New York. I would go south. I'd fly south.
You said you're content on New York.
Yeah, like I'm content, like I'm satisfied with the New York I have access to, which is going for Christmas and leaving.
Got it.
And seeing a Bills game and leaving.
So
the leaving part's good.
Where would you go?
Somewhere warmer but not hot. Like the summer can't be like when we were in Austin, me and Garrett were like, we could do this. And then we were like, oh shit, it's April. Like we could not do this. North Carolina, Tennessee. Sure. Great cost of living.
Yeah.
Anywhere south of there would be too south for my taste. Virginia is possible. I'm like kind of biased against Pennsylvania and Maryland.
I also don't think you're dodging winter too effectively at that point.
No, and I love New England. I would love Connecticut or New Hampshire or Vermont or Massachusetts or New York. I feel like maybe, but even Maine. But any of those states, you get the heavy winters. You get the heavy winters. You get the lots of dark. I've just got. Your girl's got depression, and she's got anxiety, and seasonal depression hits harder than everyday depression, and it's harder to combat, and you learn tips and tricks to not go into it and, like, let yourself spiral, but fuck, when you are just in, like, upstate New York winter, which I assume the rest of New England winter is also, it's a strong, strong pull to just, like, feel bad.
All things considered, I'd say Colorado actually has a very good winter because we get a lot of sun, even if it is cold. And any month of the winter, you're going to see at least a handful of days that are like 40, 50 plus.
Denver's just very dry, so I get a lot of like sore throat, like dry throat problems. The dryness is also good for, humidity sucks, but dryness is good. I don't know. Colorado feels far away. Like, you've got your whole family out here, so it feels like probably more homey.
Yes.
But all the, like, people that we know.
When you make the next generation, the equation of that stuff definitely changes.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
Why are you planning a move? Should we move together? Not, like, together, but in conjunction? I'm open.
If Jenna had it her way, we'd be living in California right now.
Really? Okay, so you wouldn't go east, you go west.
Yeah, there's nothing
you're a San Diego boy.
Yeah, but that might just remain a pipe dream until our kids are gone.
Where are they gonna go?
College.
Gone?
Gone out of the house.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some time then.
Yeah, we just got a quick 16 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so winter drinks.
Yeah, winter drinks.
I wonder if you need winter drinks. So that's the hard part when living in San Diego. It is, you do miss the seasons.
Right.
It's still an upgrade over having shitty seasons. But there's just something about, like, I could never live in Hawaii.
No, I couldn't. Like, I want to live somewhere where there's a chance of a white Christmas.
Yeah.
Like the beach Christmas tree vibe, that Christmas song that's like the Hawaiian way to say Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like Christmas. It feels too summery.
I think you visit Christmas in those scenarios, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hawaii is... Actually, if Jenna really had it her way, she'd be living in Hawaii.
I've never been. Garrett wants to go.
Never been to Hawaii?
No. I think that's our next vacation that we'll take together that we have not yet planned.
Yeah.
He's been pushing it for a while, and I won the Thailand.
It has a lot of hype in it, and it delivers for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, winter drinks.
Yes. My first one, hot chocolate. I love it. I will drink it, even when it's not winter, if I'm feeling a little dangerous. It's a great. What else can you say?
Yeah.
Hot chocolate's amazing, and then you also get white hot chocolate, which is a variation, and that depends more on the type. Like Starbucks white hot chocolate just does not taste good.
I don't know if I've ever had a white hot chocolate.
I find that when I make it with the powder, like you bring it home and you make it, not good. It looks like you're dissolving sugar in your cup. But if you get it from somewhere that does it good, then it's just great.
What is white chocolate?
I've thought this so many times. I think it's sugar.
You just add so much sugar that it turns it white?
I think it's not actually chocolate. I think it's sugar.
Because it tastes not related to chocolate whatsoever.
Chocolate chemistry. White chocolate. This is from Compound Chem. Click graphic to see. Come on, show me the full freaking image. It seemed so easy a second ago. Okay, here we go. White chocolate has 0% cocoa solids.
Yeah.
Whereas milk is 20 to 30 and dark chocolate is 35 plus.
Seems like...
White chocolate does not contain any cocoa solids, only cocoa butter, sugar, and milk. Cocoa butter is composed of a number of fats, mainly stearic acid and palmitic acid. Whereas the acids in milk chocolate are vanillin and butyric, and dark chocolate are theobromine and penethylamine.
Okay.
So that's science.
So it sounds like it has none of the health benefits of actual chocolate.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
There you go. Okay. When I saw the subject, hot chocolate was the first thing that came to mind, but I'm not a big hot chocolate guy, so it's not on my list.
Yeah. I'm finding as I get older, I can't drink as much, which is really disheartening.
Yeah.
Like, to get it to the chocolatey level that I want it at, to not waste my time, I'm starting to get over chocolated by halfway down the cup.
Yeah.
So that's tough.
Yeah. My first one is red wine.
Love that answer. Yeah.
Because I can't drink red wine when it's hot outside. Like, my body craves it 0%. But as soon as we start to get to the snowy seasons, I think this might be a recent development for me, is I would say that red wine is probably 80% of my alcohol consumption nowadays.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's red wine and Guinness.
I've been drinking a lot of
Pretty
Guinness.
much all I've been drinking.
Guinness is the best.
We've got that red wine bottle tucked in the corner over there. Maybe when we have the Jabba, what's his? Cuckoo. I kept wanting to say Jolly.
Yeah.
Jabba Cuckoo episode. We can bust that out.
Yeah, we do have a lot of alcohol collecting dust.
And we've got the 3 Austin ones that I personally feel ownership over because you were adamant on leaving them. And I said, no way, Jose.
It is a nice memento.
Yeah, it's got the word Austin on it.
Yeah. My next one is... I'll go more holiday themed with this one. Spiked eggnog. I can drink eggnog without it being boozy. Eggnog is delicious.
Remember when I mentioned I had an anti-list?
Is eggnog on the list? Oh, I love eggnog. It tastes like a melted milkshake to me.
You're drinking liquid eggs.
Yeah,
You're drinking an egg milkshake.
Yeah.
That's so disgusting.
Good. It's so good.
Do you know... I have never tried eggnog. I am so disgusted by the idea of it.
There are so many things that you eat that have raw eggs in it.
No. Not me.
Like hollandaise? Is that?
I don't eat hollandaise.
there's got to be something that you eat that has egg yolk.
Even if I'm at a bar and I'm looking through like a bougie menu and there's anything that uses like egg white in the foam, it's a no. It's a no for me.
Yeah.
I am anti-raw egg. Why do you think I chugged that entire beer boot when we were with Mara that time? Drink
eggs, bitch.
Yeah, that wasn't going to be me.
Yeah. There's got to be something out there that you have eggs.
I've lifelong just been absolutely icked out by eggnog, and I get gross. I wouldn't even like, I could be single and in my early 20s and at a party and the hottest man in the world could be there. And if I was watching him drink eggnog, no chance I'm kissing that guy.
Mayonnaise?
Yeah, but mayonnaise, if you think about it, is entirely disgusting. Like everything about mayonnaise is a turnoff.
It's lard.
It's a turnoff.
But you eat it.
Yeah, but you eat it in a way where it's never plain on its own. It's always like baked into a bunch of other shit, and like you kind of just don't think about that it's there. It has to be there, and it's good that it's there, and it does taste good when you have it with certain other things, but you don't think about it too much.
Tiramisu?
I don't like tiramisu.
Seriously?
No.
But you've eaten it.
Tastes like coffee, right? Isn't it like coffee flavored?
Tiramisu is the like layered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It tastes like coffee to me. I don't like it.
Chocolate mousse. Raw cookie dough?
No, I feel like they stopped putting eggs in that.
No, the homemade, definitely not.
No, I don't home make it. I'm talking like the tubs of the Toll House.
Yeah, that is a huge
there's
liability.
No egg in that.
Yeah. Homemade, raw, or homemade cookie dough? Are you kidding me? That's the best thing.
When is the last time that you have homemade cookie dough instead of just buying the shit?
Oh, all the time. I mean, I don't make cookies that often, but I make banana bread. It's got raw egg in it.
I make banana bread too.
You don't lick the...
Fuck no.
Oh, damn.
I put all the ingredients in a blender, and I blend them all, and then I pour it in the pan.
Yeah.
I know there's like an order you're supposed to do shit in to make it taste good. Yeah. I've been doing this forever. I just found that like the quickest way to make banana bread is to just put all of it into the blender, hit blend, toss it in the pan, put it in the oven.
That's funny.
Yeah. So no to eggnog for me. Thank you.
Okay, you're next.
This is me a callback to earlier in the episode, herbal tea.
That was next on my list.
As someone who's not a coffee fan, sorry, Paulie, it's not you, it's every coffee. I love tea, and in the winter, honestly, I'm going to expand past herbal tea, any tea. In the winter, in the morning, if I need a little caffeine boost, it's going to be an English breakfast. In the evening, it's going to be a sleepy time or a chamomile or a lavender something, like to the point that I have a tea urn. That, remember the guest, the person that wrote in suggested the urns, and then I got my parents one for Christmas. Well, then I got jealous and I got myself one. That thing runs day and night. I keep it upstairs running so that I don't even have to like go far to get it.
Yeah.
So love that.
You ever drink yerba mate?
Yes, in the can, the yellow can. That's the only way I'll drink it, though. I've seen it in like the cup, but it's got the little floaty bits in it.
Yeah.
I'm anti the floaty bits.
You can get it bagged.
Can you?
The traditional way is to drink it through like the
special straw.
The straw that filters it, but
yeah,
you can get it in a bag.
I've taken a sip from the straw that filters it, and it didn't filter it well, and it's like the eggnog. Like one instance for me ruined the whole thing.
Yeah. I'm
like that way with kombucha too. Haven't tried it, but something about it just freaks me out a bit.
Kombucha is definitely an acquired taste.
So yeah, that's me. My third one. This is tough. A darker beer. I'm going to leave it vague because there's many ways that you could go, and I'm not a beer connoisseur.
You just mentioned Guinness, which I know dark in color but not in concept.
Yeah, dark in color but not in heaviness.
Yeah.
Like I can drink way more Guinnesses than I could like a milk stout or a chocolate whatever, you know, any of that shit. But I feel like for some reason when it's winter, it's a lot easier to get one of those dark beers and sit there and actually like enjoy the whole thing versus any other season. You see those on the menu and you're just like, who would order that?
Yeah. A Christmas ale.
Yeah.
What I think of when I think of like a winter beer, I guess it's right on the nose.
Or when like when a beer company puts out like a seasonal box.
Mm-hmm.
I like a seasonal box where you get to try the different flavors.
Yeah. Good. My last guy here. I'm gonna go. All right, this is not. Someone's gonna think, "What the fuck?" But this is true. That this is something I only do during the winter. Rarely, but I do it. Bone broth.
This is something I'm curious about.
Yeah. I occasionally feel like I'm trying to fast, and I know if you're drinking bone broth, you're technically not fasting, but for me, it curbs my appetite, gives you some protein. It's beneficial from that standpoint. But actually, the bone broth that I make, I very much enjoy the taste. So it's like it's hot. It's a little thicker than just drinking like typical like chicken stock or beef stock. I personally like the flavor of the homemade version, and it fills you up. Like, it's just like a nice way to start the day. I feel like I'm energized from it.
Mm-hmm. I could see myself trying it and enjoying it. I also think there's a very fine line about if I'm making it, like, if I see something that I feel is gross, I will be against it forever.
So a couple things.
Tread lightly.
If you're gonna make beef bone broth, after like the first 24 hours especially, it does start to smell very bad. Like, the smell is like, this is not something I want to put in my body. I will say the smell that outputs is not the equivalent to the taste. The taste is much better. The other thing is, once you like pour out the bone broth, there's going to be maybe a full inch layer of just like fat.
Figured that.
Yeah. So you have to skim that part out.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to drink the fat part. That is gross.
Yeah.
I think some people do, but that's disgusting.
It's like people that put butter in their coffee.
I used to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the stupid idiot health fads.
That's what I was trying to tell Skurka.
Yeah.
I was like, he's your guy.
Yeah. But bone broth is awesome. It's really, really good. And tons of health benefits with it.
If we go to our honorable unmentions, aka the things that I hate in winter drinks, eggnog tops the list.
Yep.
Mulled wine. I love red wine, but for some reason, once you
Is that
make
the sweet wine?
No, it's just it's hot. They heat
Oh.
it up, and sometimes they put like some berries for flavor or
Sure.
whatever. I don't find hot wine to be tasty.
Yeah. I don't have too many wouldn't drink. Hot chocolate is just, I think it's just too sweet for me.
I will honorable mention hot apple cider.
I do like hot apple cider.
The reason it didn't make my list is because it feels more like a fall drink than because
Fair.
apple season.
Yeah.
It's fall.
That's fair.
Um.
I've got Fireball.
Oh yeah.
I just think of it like you're
Yeah.
skiing with your pals, toss one back on the lift.
Yeah.
Horchata. Not something I've had a lot in my
I
life.
thought that was a dessert.
It's a drink. It's a sweet drink, but like I think it's a Mexican spiced like milk based thing.
I thought it was like a cake.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah, but horchata's yummy. Very good.
Let's
Mailbag.
see.
Oh,
Okay.
you
No,
got
I'm done.
more?
No, I was just thinking, but no. Hi, gang. It's your friendly neighborhood veterinarian checking in with random facts about ibex, as referenced in the TMB episode. As you mentioned, they are goats. In regards to the heavy head / horns, etc., they, like all goats, as well as many other herbivores such as cattle, sheep, and horses, have a structure called a nuchal ligament. This is a thick cord of connective tissue that extends from the spine between the shoulders all the way to either the skull or the spine at the base of the skull. This creates almost like a suspension bridge that helps carry the weight of a heavy skull on a long neck with very minimal muscle involvement. Interestingly, humans have a nuchal ligament, nuchal, Nuchal, pronounce how you
I don't
please,
know that.
ligament as well, but it is much less developed. If you tip your head very far forward and feel your neck at the base of your skull, directly in the center of your neck, you should feel a rope-like structure. So I'm trying to do it while I'm doing it. A rope-like structure, that's your nuchal ligament.
Okay.
It helps support your head from tipping forward, but obviously does nothing to prevent tipping backward, as Chauncey was referring to with the ponytail. Anyway, maybe this will win you trivia night at the bar sometime. Kind regards, Rick. Cool. Thanks, Rick.
Nice. That's not your former vet, Rick.
No.
Okay.
Was his name Rick? I don't
I'm
think it
asking
was.
you.
No, he wasn't Rick.
Okay.
Rick. For a minute, I thought you were saying his name was Rick, and I was like, was it?
Oh, no. I don't remember his name. 5-star review. This is from CT Headstat.
See the
AdStat.
CT head stat might be. That might be it.
Okay. You guys are great. Listen every week and can't wait until the next episode. Love the wide range of hikers you interview. Really keeps it interesting and the knowledge you both share. Thank you to CT Headstat for that lovely feedback. You guys can have your review read here on Backpacker Radio by heading over to Apple Podcasts and leaving us any number of stars.
Just not 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Screenshot it, email us, podcast@thetrek.co, and we'll send you a Backpacker Radio sticker, the highly coveted and ultra rare BPR sticker. Thank you to today's title sponsor, Topo Athletic. They're the best. I'll be, let's see, what's the date on this one?
The 19th?
The 19th. So I'm about, as of this release, a week away from a backpacking trip. I'll be bringing my Pursuit 2s, the same Pursuit 2s that I wore on Tour de Mont Blanc. So, and this is a good amount of off-trail, so I get to test it in a new environment. But what can I say about these that I haven't said already? Finish the trail feeling the same way that I started. No blisters, feet are very happy, corroborated across the world of thru hiking as well. Topo Athletic was cited as the top brand in the 2024 AT Hiker Survey, sourcing that because as of this recording, that's all the data that we have. But yeah, Topo Athletic is the best. Our reviewers have gotten up to 1,000 miles out of a single pair, which is probably don't recommend stretching yours to 1,000 miles, but if you're budget strapped, it can be done.
Yeah, this was a sad year for Chance in terms of outdoors because wedding is all consuming, but I'm very much needing to go outside more next year than this year. It can't go on like this. And the one thing I feel very confident about, even though I don't know what I will hike or when, is that A, I will hike something next year or I will lose my mind. And
This
B,
year.
this year, yes, we recorded this in December. And B, I don't need a new pair of shoes going into it. My same pair from pre-Northville Placid Trail, still in ship shape.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing I don't need to plan, even though I need to plan everything else. That will be coming with me.
Yeah. Yeah, not only are the uppers on mine still in excellent shape, but the tread is also like borderline like new. So impressive stuff. Use our code TREKWINTER15 for 15% off your order. If you've used zero or minimal drop shoes in the past, you are going to like these, I promise. You get the ZD guarantee on that one.
Ooh, the ZD guarantee. That's a great phrase. We haven't used that ever.
The ZD guarantee?
Yeah, the ZD guarantee.
Patent that for sure.
Sounds like you're saying ZD. Like a
ZD.
baked ZD.
It's better than my former nickname, Z Diddy.
Yeah, we're going to retire that one. It turned into Zaddy for a while.
Zaddy, that's right. Super big thank you to our Chuck Norris Award winners on Patreon. That is Alex and Misty with Navigators Crafting, Alex Kindle, Andrew, Austin McDaniel, Bill Jensen, Brad and Blair from 13 Adventures, Brent Mullins, a.k.a. Cruzy, Brian Alsop,
Fables.
Carl Lobster Hood, Christopher Marshburn, Clint Sittler, Coach from Marion Outdoors, Eric Casper,
The Friendly Ghost.
Eric Hoffman, Ethan Harwell Dunn, Jillian Daniels, Greg Knight, Greg Martin, Griffin Haywood, You Bring Me a Beer, Haley Buckingham,
Palace.
Jason Kaiser, Kristen Bell, Matt from Gilbert, Arizona, Patrick C. Cialo, Randy Sutherland, Rebecca Brave, Hart, Rural Juror, Sawyer Product Spam, the St. Louis Shaman, Timothy Hahn,
Solo.
and Tracy Trigger. Thanks to our guy, Paulie at Old Man Murph's Coffee Roasters. Head on over to ommcr.com. Get yourself some delicious beans if you like coffee. And if you don't, also do it because it's nice to support people.
If you're like me and you're a tea drinker, just go to ommcr.com anyway. Just take a look at the website.
Yeah.
Clicks help.
Give them a hit.
Yeah. SEO loves that.
You can follow us on social at Backpacker Radio on Instagram and TikTok at BackpackerPod on X, Facebook.com/Backpacker Radio. You can follow Johns.
You can find me on Instagram at Juliana_Chauncey, on YouTube at Juliana Chauncey, and you can get my book, Hiking from Home, a long-distance hiking guide for family and friends on thetrek.co, possibly, or Amazon.
That's right. And we're doing our bundle package.
Yep.
As of this recording, we've got some left.
Yep.
If not, head on over to Amazon and
Yep.
leave us a review while you're there. That'd be very nice of you.
We would love a review on Amazon.
Follow us on YouTube.
Hi, Internet.
What's up, YouTube?
You can watch me sit on my knees for a whole episode.
Yeah. You can
blow
watch
Skurka's mind.
Andrew get uncomfortable as we just roasted him at the top of the show.
Yeah, you should go on YouTube and watch the look on his face when Zach played the Skurka pubes clip.
Oh, I turned off
That's okay.
the input.
They know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And while you're at YouTube, hit subscribe.
Yes.
That helps us
Yes, please.
and you. That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for listening, and happy hiking.
Bye.